that yes, I am supposed to be live on Sunday. I'm here. We're here. It's okay. Maybe some of them will show up. But Twitch, what's going on? Happy to be here this evening. Hazards, I'm sorry about the dreadfully witty notification. It apparently worked. But you know what? Here, I will mention you in here. There you go. I mentioned you in a comment. It's right there. Right there. There you go. El Tirador, what's going on? LGN indeed. What's a queue looking like tonight? I have a project I'd like to see if you can help me with. Okay, so the queue has been slow because of the impending Black Friday. Nobody buys anything at the beginning of November, and or in the first half of November, really. So, yeah, it's been pretty chill in terms of PC matchmaking sessions. But I had an idea for tonight because of that. Sapphire 167, welcome. How's it going? My idea for tonight was if it was another evening where, again, people are waiting for Black Friday. The streams will get very busy around then. If it was another night of that, I was actually going to record my my comeback episode for SI Weekly, or as it is now going to be called, PC Gateway. I was going to record that live with you guys hanging out with me. Thought that might be kind of cool. I've done that kind of thing in the past. They're usually a little bit less focused than my normal SI Weekly episodes, but the editing on them is very easy because I just do transitions and effects and stuff just like in the software, all that kind of thing. Like I'll just, I don't know. Here you go. There you go. There's an effect, I guess. I just throw those in and I just have to cut down the video and add an intro, and like that's it. Add like the intro animation. Which I do need to adjust for the new title, but that's just dropping in some new text. It's not a problem. Bone Shock, what's up? Hello, good evening, sir. That was weird. I had no chat for a while. Now I do. Sorry about that. Oh, no problem. Apology accepted. Welcome. But yeah, welcome both Twitch and YouTube viewers. Happy to have y'all here. Those of you who do show up. The Sunday streams have just been weird. Months ago, I was like, I'm going back because people would tell me like, what games you playing? Like, you know, play some games, whatever. And I was like, okay, I'm going to go back to gaming streams on Sundays. They did okay. They did all right, but I'm not a gaming content creator, unfortunately. That's what I wanted to be at first, but that's a really competitive sort of category. And, you know, I am certainly, you know, no Eric Point Crow over here. I'm not as entertaining when it comes to gaming. So, you know, I just stick to what people come to me for, which is talking about PCs on Tuesdays and Thursdays. But then I was like, you know what? It's going to get busy around the holidays. I'm going to start doing PC matchmaking on Sundays. And it was really busy at the time. Like I was running out of time before I could help everybody before the stream was over. So I was like, let's add Sundays. And I did that right before this. So Sundays are now just in a weird. Also, I did that right before going to TwitchCon and just getting like a bunch of offers for collabs, gaming collabs on stream. And I'm like, I just ousted my gaming stream in favor of more PC matchmaking. So you're going to see a few of those. It's going to be a few collab gaming streams. There would have already been one, but the person who wanted to do that is in Australia. So they had a trip to go on. I'm not saying that they live there. They went on a trip to Australia. So maybe after they come back, we'll schedule something. That is Emmett. He wanted to do a sort of Super Metroid Map Rando coaching session because I complained a lot of the time that I was there about how I'm not fast. I'm pretty good at them. I can solve the puzzles that the randomizer creates, but I'm not fast. And he was like, "Oh, dude, let's do a coaching sesh." And I know ADEF wants to do one, which is just like awesome because he's a super cool dude. And very good at video games and video game math. So, El Theodore said, "Okay, noted. I managed to pick up an MSI B550M for $40. Wow. That I want to use for a second build, which will be my first build. Any parts you recommend getting now, or should I wait?" Theodore, I'll tell you this. RAM was going to be one of the topics of the stream tonight, of the video this week. Well, I'll just show you a quick little. Oh, here, let me keep this on. There we go. Oops. Well, that's kind of in the way, isn't it? So this is the pricing trends for DDR5 6000 over the last 18 months. What the hell? Okay. And as you can see, literally, it's off the charts. It is literally off the freaking charts. This is a Kingston Fury Beast kit. Very good kit of RAM. Awesome kit. No, very few frills, no RGB, stuff like that. Usually priced at around 120 to 150 bucks. Currently going for 286 on Newegg. Memory C is the most reasonable, but as you can see, even there, the price is just going bananas. I mean, look at Newegg. They're like, oh, okay, so the price is is increased quite a bit. Let's push it even further. Let's go even further beyond. Anyway. Yeah. So, not a great time, honestly, unless you can find some good used RAM. All Factors 5, what's up? What's real good is we don't have to buy RAM every day. That's true. And what's up, Jord? How's it going? Alucard, welcome. Yeah. Factors, here's the thing, is that the one silver lining, when this was happening with GPUs are one of the most expensive are the most expensive component in a PC. So it was just like, it was untenable. Like, most people could not just build a PC DIY, and the only answer was a pre-built, which is what actually built my whole channel. Off of the idea of like, hey, people don't understand. You can actually just bypass a lot of this somewhat by getting a pre-built. That's where System Integrators Weekly started. Because I was like, I need to tell everybody. And I'm going to pat myself on the back a little bit here. Helped literally thousands of people over the course of that show, which is just awesome. Like, that's, and not only that, not only helping people buy stuff, but helping people not buy stuff that they shouldn't. The number of comments on my Light Gaming PCs video and also the Apex Gaming PCs videos saying like, I almost bought from here until I saw this video. Thank you. Make me happy and probably make Apex Gaming PCs the opposite. So the show has to come back. Like, right now, we need regular pre-built content. We need it. And it's just, and I'm saying that as a participant here. I want more people to cover this stuff. Like, you hear, I'll see Brett do a short about RAM pricing for UFD, and Brett is the best. Brett is awesome. I would like him to maybe look into what it does to pre-builds, because it's like over 70% of PC hardware sold per year goes to pre-builds. Like, that's the majority, the vast majority. And like, DIY pricing is, there is nuance to this. Because like, I thought I turned that on. So I have this thing that I set up to where I can turn this stuff off for doing videos while I'm streaming. It does leave a weird gap right here, and I don't know what to do about that. So what I did before was I just did like this, but then the website just does not know what to do, and it puts the graphics like under my face. So I have to like, that's annoying. Same thing over here. I go to this. It's not, what am I doing here? What are we doing here? I guess I could just do that and have it just partially. Man, I don't know. Anyway. Even the used RAM market is not the best either. Well, it's probably going to be better. And honestly, Alucard, one of the components in a PC that is generally the least messed with is RAM. It's one of the things that I kind of trust for buying used, but not necessarily for someone who's brand new to PCs. You know what I mean? Damn. So I'll just look for some of the cheaper stuff and just push the more expensive stuff later. Really want to build this. Currently on an 12900K and 3060. Don't know how big to go on the second build. I'll be running dual PCs. Well, it depends on what the purpose is. Well, the chat box though, Theodore, is that if I'm going to be doing something for a YouTube video, I don't want to have to like blur out anything in a chat box. Now, thankfully, most of you guys keep things really clean because you understand I don't cuss on the streams. And though I do very often in real life, I just try to make these streams as open and welcoming for people as possible. And it doesn't hurt anybody if I don't cuss, but some people might get offended if I do, and I want everyone to feel welcome. So, and also, I mean, there's going to be, you know, kids who come in at the, you know, the 13, 14-year-old kids who come in. I understand that they hear and say cuss words all the time. But I do have a responsibility to bear in mind my own behavior in that way. Anyways, it's fine. I probably before I was a dad, I probably wouldn't have cared. But that does change you, I'll say. Changes you quite a bit. When I was in my 20s, 30s, there was a huge monthly magazine about the size of a small phone book called The Computer Shopper. Oh, yeah. That used to be where us old folks used to find all the pre-built makers. There was also computer shows. Yep. That was a long time ago. This was my teens, I guess, at that time. Or later. Or younger, maybe. I don't know. Observer, what thoughts? Thank you for the lurks. I appreciate it. Attempting to buy a kit of DDR5 right now, RAM right now is extremely expensive. Yes, it is. The thing is, again, it's one of the least expensive components in your PC. That's a big benefit. Oh, snap. What is that? What is that? Build-A-Burr coming in with a Prime sub. Wait, that's the wrong button. I'll get back. I'll get the hang of things again. Build-A-Burr coming in with a Prime sub. Let's go, nerds. Thank you for the Prime sub. That is 15 months of support. Welcome back to the Swarm. And yeah. So I don't know. Like, I basically have stuff to remove that. There you go. Just one button, and I'm ready to do a nice, clean YouTube video. Which, again, if nobody's really putting in forms tonight, that's what we're doing. The YouTube videos are back after this because they need to be. I have other stuff I'm going to be posting very soon, so I need to get that algorithm started, get it rolling. Yeah. WX fan, what's going on? Tech Goat has returned to Twitch. Thank you. I came back after TwitchCon in San Francisco and all that, and now it's been a little weird, you know. It's been a little, but we're getting back into it, and what is it? Then later this week, I'm going to be going to Chicago, maybe. Unfortunately, Chicago O'Hare Airport is one of the ones getting flights canceled right now. So 10% of flights being canceled, and O'Hare is one of them. TJ Sparks, welcome. How's it going? Observer Thoughts, thank you for being in both chats. You know, I always appreciate that. Chris Crawford, welcome. How you doing? How's your back? It's better. It's good. So I have, years ago, I ruptured a disc It was terrible. I was, and it was severe. It wasn't like, you know, I was also pinching a nerve between my L4, L5. And it took me months to recover, and gained a bunch of weight, which didn't help, obviously, and had to go through physical therapy for months to try and be able to. I couldn't lay down or sit up and be in any kind of comfort. It was crazy. But you know, since I recovered, every now and then I'll just do a little something that will irritate it. And I have to rest for days in order to make sure that it's not going to be anything where I have to go back to physical therapy. Which is why I started going back to the gym to very carefully start to get back into sort of getting in shape and sort of supporting my back in a muscular fat. And like my back muscles need to do a little bit more work, basically. Well, I think I'll stick with my current build for gaming and the second one for streaming. Okay. Well, with that in mind, what you can do is, Theater Doors, you can take that 3060, put it in the streaming build, and then get a different GPU for your gaming build. 3060 has, I think, should have 7th gen NVENC, still very good. 12 gigs of VRAM. It's great for streaming, for its dedicated streaming rig. So you could do that. Ameridan, welcome. How's it going? I just got back from DreamHack in Atlanta last week, says El Theater Dork. That's awesome. How'd it go? Never been to DreamHack Atlanta. I mean, I used to go to DreamHack Dallas every year. Well, I went like a few years in a row. The last one I went to was probably the best one because Roby invited me and gave me a spot in the LAN, and it was awesome. It was really, really cool. So I will be seeing Legends of Avantris in 2 weeks for PAX Unplugged. I figured you'd be checking that out. You want anything signed from them? Oh man. I'm gonna have to think on that one. That would be amazing, actually. Went through that last year with my back. I hated it very much, and now fear doing anything intense now to prevent it going out again. I say this, I'm not good at taking care of myself physically, but you have to strengthen your core, because that's from what I mean. I'm not obviously no physical therapist, but what I've sure talked to a bunch of them, and generally it's like your core supports your back. If you have a weak core, your back is gonna get hurt. So. YZY says, I just got my first PC. I'm so happy. Got any tips? Well, congratulations on that. I actually have a whole video on setting up your PC. So if you haven't already set it up, you're going to want to watch that. It's one of my most viewed videos. It's how to set up your new gaming PC. Yeah. One tip that I like is right here. So this website is called ninite.com. Let's turn those back on. There we go. This is ninite.com. NINITE.com. You can go here to pick out a whole bunch of apps that you might want, like the browser you want. Bam, just Opera, Chrome, Firefox, whatever. You don't necessarily need security. Just keep Windows up to date. Windows, Windows Defender is actually very good now. If you want to get Dropbox or Google Drive to move files over from the cloud to your new PC, anything like that, Spotify, VLC, any of these things, click all the ones you want and then click Get Your Ninite, and you will have a single installer for all of those things. Get your Discord, get your Audacity if you want to record audio, get GIMP if you want to do photo editing and image editing. Greenshot for screenshots, things like that. Just a bunch of really, really cool applications. Steam. You can have Steam, Chrome, VLC, and Spotify, all these things on one installation file. And what it does is if there's, and Discord, all that. And what it does is if there's anything in those installers that's like, I don't know if you guys remember back in the day, every program would try to get you to install a Google search bar.
Man, back in the day. But it skips those things and says no, basically. And for a bunch of these, it might say, hey, do you want to read? Do you want to open the README? No, nobody ever does. Nobody ever wants to open the README file. There you go. So this is awesome for a new PC to get everything set up. Well, not everything, obviously, but yeah, like you have Steam, Epic Games Launcher, cool. There's a thing literally called everything. Okay, so I cannot actually say, I literally can't say that you can't get everything here because technically you can. It's a search engine. It's a local file search engine. But that actually sounds awesome because Windows search is dog water. It sucks. It was amazing. My first con. We saw the guy win 500K in SNK. Wow. Love the indie games and cosplays. I saw a fun time. That's awesome. I was thinking that, though. Swap GPU, then upgrade gaming PC to like a 5070. There you go. Vinval, what's up? Welcome. Sean Bra, what's going on? Are you going to try and hook up with any companies to build your PCs like you did last year? Sean, yes, actually. That's the trip I'm supposed to be taking on Wednesday, including a live stream of me building the PC on Friday. If the flight doesn't get canceled, because it's to Chicago O'Hare Airport, which is on the list for to have 10% of flights canceled right now, because air traffic controllers and TSA agents are all working for $0 right now. They're working for nothing with, I believe, no promise of pay after the shutdown ends. Like, that's crazy. I think maybe TSA might get, I don't know. I have no idea. It's a huge mess. I've been even like the thing is I went to TwitchCon. I flew to TwitchCon during the shutdown and everything went okay. I was able to get where I needed to go. But there's that fear of just like, this is a scary time right now to be in the air. Think about it. Air traffic controllers already have the most stressful job in the country. One mistake and there goes hundreds of people by, you know, like it's crazy stressful. Add to that, you know, half of them are calling in sick because they're not getting paid. If you're one of the few that shows up, you are worked beyond your human limits. It's really, really messed up right now. If I could drive to Chicago, I would, but it's across the country, so I couldn't do that. Hi, due to the RAM shortage, would you recommend a 7900 XTX or a 9700 XT GPU? The Bet Noir, what does that have to do with the RAM shortage? What do those two GPUs have to do with the RAM shortage? They have VRAM, but that's not system memory. That has nothing to do with your system memory. Yeah, that's not affecting GPUs yet. No, like that's not. It's not VRAM. Now there will be a shortage of VRAM. There will. But the ones that you can buy right now, GPUs you can buy right now, should not be priced up. They've been built already for months before they hit the shelves. And if you see inflated prices on GPUs, that's just a retailer that's taking advantage of the situation and people's lack of understanding of the supply chain, unfortunately. So what's going to happen is they're likely going to delay the 50 series super cards, but you're looking at Radeon cards, so it doesn't affect you. Pick the card that performs better in whichever game is most important to you. If the pricing of each of them is a non-issue, then pick whichever one performs better in your particular favorite games at your preferred resolution, because the 7900 XTX should outperform the 9700 XT in 4K. If you're trying to go for 1440p, the 9700 XT might have an edge. I don't know. Ninite works so well. I know it. YZY, I'm telling you. I need to make that a short, though, but I think Zach already did, and he has much farther reach than I do in short-form content. So it's like, that's the thing, is I don't ever want to copy anyone, and I realized a short that I did a long time ago, the first short I ever did, was I was talking about display settings and making sure that your monitors are running at the proper, here. Just you go to right-click your desktop, and YZY, pay attention to this. If you got yourself a nice gaming monitor, okay, with a high refresh rate, you're not getting that refresh rate yet. So you right-click your desktop on nothing, just the desktop itself, hit display settings. That'll show up in the wrong, whatever your main window, monitor is. Don't pay attention to this. This is my TV for when I'm doing. This is how I watch a lot of stuff I monitor a lot of my apps on streaming. This is where you guys are, and this is where I'm browsing. Anyway, you go to Advanced Display, and then you make sure that you selected whatever the highest number is right there under refresh rate, because it will be at 60 hertz. Windows does not understand that you want the highest refresh rate possible. So, just something to think about. But that short was I like that. Look at that. It's just like That's good. That's good. Good design. I realized after publishing it that like 4 or 5 months earlier, PC World had posted a similar short. And I felt horrible because those are my friends. I didn't mean to copy their content. But yeah, I try to be careful about that. If the content's already out there and a bunch of people have viewed it, unless I have something to add, there's no reason for me to make it. Sorry, an ad played when you were talking. Oh, yeah, I'm sorry to hear that. Just pick whichever one is best for the game you're playing. Okay? There you go. That's it. I was already talking about something else for a while. Oh, WX fan. I was I answered the whole thing about my back, and even went into the history of how I heard it in the first place many years ago. It's fine. It's better now. You did the thing where you ask a question and then you're like, to the VOD. Anton, thank you for the heads up for those watching on YouTube to drop some likes. I appreciate that. Go Jin says, evening break, I'm finding channel to the Nerds on a Budget hot take clip. Console gamer here, new to the PC realm. I loved that video. That was such a good video. I've been using AI to help me understand PC gaming and how to build a 4K machine under $2,500. It's quite daunting. AI, I've tested this. AI is not great at it. It's not very good at it. It actually recommended a brand. It recommended a brand of pre-built PC that I have openly criticized. It's not great. You were talking about TSA and flying to Switzerland? I'm not flying to Switzerland. I didn't say anything about that. Oh, yeah, I was talking about flying to Chicago. Chicago is where I'm going. I did finish talking about that, though. Like, hopefully the flight doesn't get canceled. That's it. That's the main thing. It might be canceled. Now, here's what I'm going to try to do if the Chicago trip and the collab stream falls apart due to everything that's happening to the whole transportation system and air traffic controllers and TSA and all those employees who are doing their best to try and work through not getting paid, you know? Here's what's going to happen. I'm going to try to see if I can get all the parts sent to me and do a stream like I did last year, where I just build the PC on stream. There you go. That's what I'll do. And, you know, either way, regardless, the deal is happening. I'm going to go ahead and give you guys a little bit more info. I've been giving out a trickle of info. And for those who don't know, every year now, I mean, like for the longest time, I've had to track the best Black Friday deals that I could find. Yet a lot of them are just like it's a lot of these companies doing their best to try and keep up and get deals out there for Black Friday.
they don't always give the most information because they're going to be like, hey, we'll put whatever motherboards we can get in there. We'll put whatever power supplies we have enough of in there. And that got a little bit frustrating for me because if I'm going to talk about something as if it's something you might want to consider buying, well, that puts some responsibility on my part. So last year with Skytech, I actually flew out there and kind of like how I'm trying to do here, but this time it was way earlier. This was for the planning process. And I got to pick every component in 2 different kinds of systems. And one was a more entry-level, no, it's still 1440p gaming, but it was on a more entry-level price at around $1,200, $1,300. And then there was a 1440p gaming and streaming system for $2,000. And it was awesome. It was really cool. And I built both of them during one almost 11-hour long stream. I'm not doing that this time, by the way. But this time, it's going to be around the same price as the gaming and streaming system, and it is still going to be capable of 1440p gaming and streaming for around the same price, around just under $2,000. Now, we checked this pricing about a week ago and found that the system, fully built, operating system installed, tested, warranty, shipped and warranted, all of it with a lifetime warranty. Okay, that's a little clue for you. Coming in at just $50 over the bare PC part picker list of the same matching parts. And that is crazy. Like $50 to have something built, tested, shipped, warranted, all of that is insane, especially with the best warranty in the industry. That was before RAM prices just continued to climb. So it's actually probably about even now, or even a slightly lower price than building it yourself. Now, is it going to be the craziest CPU and GPU you can get for that money? No, that is not what I do, because that sacrifices other parts of the PC. That's not how I roll, and y'all know that. And most of y'all appreciate that, and I appreciate you for it. A lot of attention, as you know, if you know me, a lot of attention went into the motherboard. The power supply is very highly rated. It's not just a terabyte of storage, it's 2. And it's very fast storage. And you actually have some upgrade options. So this thing's going to be insane. If you're around that price point or a little higher because of the upgrade options, if you're higher too, because if you're like, oh, well, that sounds awesome, but I wanted a blah, blah, blah GPU. We got you. That's an option. Usually, probably. Not a 5090. No. Why would you do that? That's the price of the whole computer plus then some. And then some. Hey, brother, swapping out my power supply for the first time. Kind of nervous. Any tips? Do not... Jose, thank you for asking. Do not leave... If it's a modular power supply you're taking out and you're putting in a new modular power supply, you're not using the same... You do not use the same cables from your first power supply. You take out every power cable, every PSU cable, take them out, and it stays with that first power supply. That's the main thing. Another tip for you is to take pictures of everything that's connected so that afterwards you can compare. Once you put in the new power supply and plug what you think is everything in, you can look at the pictures and make sure that it looks the same. Then there's nothing left unplugged. There you go. YZY, unfortunately, I am not a monitor master. I don't know much about. I don't know enough about monitors to have that monitor and its related reviews and ratings memorized. I have no idea. I would look for review, and the other thing is, I would have recommended doing the research like that, where you're like, hey, let me see what people think of this monitor. I would recommend doing that stuff before you give away your money and buy it. Try to do that with anything else that you're going to be buying for your setup. Do your research before. Don't worry, you're not alone. A lot of people buy something and then research whether it's good or not. according to other people. I don't understand it. I really don't. It has never made sense to me, but a lot of people do it, so it makes sense to a lot of people, I guess. Yeah, Hardware Unboxed is really good for that, L Factors. Yes, although the channel is actually Monitors Unboxed. They made a dedicated channel to that. Meridan says, did I miss it or you say who you're doing the BF collab PC with? Dan, and unless you really just, if you've been busy and you haven't heard anything I've said about it, you've probably already figured it out. The only thing I'm not going to do is give away too many details because I do know for a fact that other system integrators follow it. And actually, you know what? I don't care if they copy it. That means that they're offering solid PCs. That'd be great, actually. Oh, what I was saying was there's going to be other systems for Black Friday that you can buy if you want to. And I'm not going to blame you. Okay, that you can buy that would be the same price, but with a tier up on the GPU or something like that for the same price. That's not the goal of this system. And I maintain that it is very normal for a system to cost more if the parts cost more. And yes, a nice motherboard, like I won't let you guys get a PC that I slap my name onto unless it has a motherboard I approve of. I ain't having it otherwise. Like, too many people overlook their motherboard in favor of just going one tier up on their CPU or GPU. And it's like, you're not going to feel that difference in performance that often. You're really not. But what you're going to feel is when you go to plug in something, a new USB thing, and you realize, oh, I don't have any more USB ports. Oh, good. Now I have to use a hub, or I got to do this, or I got to do that. No. Or why isn't this capture card working? I plugged it into the PCIe slot, put it in there properly, but it's not working. Oh, you don't have 4 lanes of PCIe for that slot. Okay. Oh, well, how about that? Naughty Fox, what's up? I walked into a local store, saw a beautiful Asus G700 and the sticker price of $3K, which was when I decided to research before spending. That's awesome. Research before spending money. The G700 is a pretty nice looking PC. I actually received one for a review. Not received. I mean, they sent it temporarily for a review. And they asked for it back because the box came in incredibly damaged from shipping. And apparently Asus does not believe in having a secondary outer box when shipping PCs. They have their branding all over it. It's like, gaming PC, look at me. And I swear there was a big dent in the side that looked like it could have been a boot. Or a shoe that did that. You may have to check your chat delay. I don't have to check my chat delay, YZY. It's YouTube. I'm sending 30 megabits per second, 4K 30 footage, encoding that, sending it up to YouTube. It's the higher quality stream. It is more delayed because of that, because the VODs live on YouTube forever. I want them to look good. Also, I tend to respond in depth to most people who say something in chat, so I sometimes will miss something or have to come back to it later. Chris Crawford, thank you for the nice message to have people hit the like button. I do appreciate that. Yo, how are we? We're good, Peckish. How you doing? I need a motherboard therapy session. Console guy here. Well, you're used to limited I/O, that's for sure. Araxinus, what's up? Yes, that did give it away very easily. That's why I'm asking if it's something. I would love to take a drive up and maybe have lunch somewhere. Yeah, just hit up TJ. I'm not planning anything out. I'm just going. I'm sure he has plans in mind. Although he's really busy right now. I'm aware, but you know. For some reason there's no 1080p option on Twitch, so I'm forced to load it at 4K on a 1080p monitor. Peckish, that's one downside. So because I think it's because I'm a Twitch partner, I have the option for 4K 30, but that replaces 1080p, unfortunately. So it goes 720p, 2160p. Sorry about that. It's okay. My internet is insane. It's not a problem for me, but still not good in general. Most people don't seem to mind on YouTube, on Twitch rather, on Twitch. And there's a reason though, is like I show stuff like this with very, small text, all that kind of stuff. I do 4K because of that. Also, the person who filled out the form during the stream on Thursday and then never said a word in chat, never said they were waiting for help. I want to remind you guys of something. The help that I give for these is on the stream. I'm not going to email you. I'm not going to DM you. This is live on stream. So you do have to interact with me in order for me to help you. So I'm getting ready to maybe delete this one, but maybe they just filled out the form and they had to go. I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt. So we'll see what we can do. Naughty Fox, thank you for the follow. Appreciate that. That was 8 minutes ago. Thank you. Thank you for the follow. But yeah, whenever it comes to doing something like a part picker list or a Micro Center build, whenever we get to the motherboard part, I am literally looking at things like the manual for bifurcation tables, block diagrams, things like that to make sure that there are no surprises in whatever motherboard we may have settled on. I care a lot about motherboard features. I feel like there's one brand in particular that the majority of their motherboards, they have gutted certain features to put up a paywall. Asus. But other brands have gotten pretty good about those kinds of things, and they've gotten better. Gigabyte has gotten, I think, a little worse on some of their boards. They used to be the best when it comes to getting a mid-tier board and getting a ton of I/O. But they sort of, with the current generation, in particular on the AMD side, they've backpedaled on their quantity of I/O, which is always a thing for me. As powerful as PCs are now, you should be able to connect a lot of stuff. And you're just not. Because, they didn't want to spend the extra pennies on another set of USB ports plus their controller. Oops. How's DDR4 prices in the USA as of right now? Literally off the charts. And by that I mean literally off the charts. This is 32 gigs DDR5 6000. Package, just do what I did. That yes, one that's DDR5, and I'm meaning like the cheapest one you can get, right? Just do your research. Just go to the PC part picker and go to RAM. Look it up yourself. You asked how's DDR4 prices? I don't feel like looking that up. That's not relevant for most people. Nice correction though, because you were correct in that you did say DDR4, and I didn't say like. For most people, it's not super relevant right now. Most people have switched over to DDR5. And a lot of people who have had a DDR4 system, I mean, you have to understand, there have not been any platforms using DDR4 that are new hardware in over a year. And the ones that did, the only ones that did, are 13th and 14th gen Intel. And those took a nosedive in popularity after, a lot of 13th and 14th gen stuff just never sold. But that was last hardware to be able to use DDR4. But really, I'm looking at DDR5 prices. That's what's going to affect everybody right now. So that's what I'm saying. Not super relevant to most people. Because the people who watch my stuff, who are coming here, all you got to do is, you don't need me to look it up for you, okay? Sure, I'll do it. Okay, we go here. We go to PC part picker, right? Wait, why is it doing? Oh, it's because I've collapsed the window some. You go to products, and you go to memory. And then you put in your thing. And you can go here and you can tell it, you know what? Tell me United States for some reason. I know it's not relevant to you, but you can do that. There you go. I think people forget Google is a thing, Peckish. And there's not a lot that'll set me off, but I do feel like the questions I should be answering are not ones that Google can answer much more thoroughly and accurately than I can, just going off the top of my head. DDR4 has doubled in price since October. Well, DDR5 has more than doubled in price. I lost my page here. Yeah, more than doubled. At least as far as Newegg is concerned. Newegg's having a great time with this. Because, like, if you look at Memory C, they're, like, trying to maintain. They're like, oh, God, it spiked. Okay, well, let's just try this. Newegg was just, like, looking over here like, oh, yeah, let's go, baby. Let's price gouge. They were ready, dude. Because what happens when this, like, seriously, for an individual building one PC, if it's, say, a $2,000 or $2,500 PC, an additional $100 or $120 for a kit of RAM is not a drop in the bucket, but you're going to do it. You have to have system memory. So for them, it's just a little bit extra. And if Newegg is coming in and adding, let's see what the price difference is here, $255 versus $286, $30. And it looks like they've been sort of petering off a little bit. Just notice that they went way up and they're just like, let's see what people are willing to pay. And then they started slowly coming back down, right? This $30 difference, your average person's not going to feel that for their one build. But you think about the thousands and thousands of people who, for some reason, still trust Newegg. That is a lot of money on the table for them. Newegg, in time, what happens is this. The same thing happened anytime there's a GPU shortage, all that. These are opportunities for certain retailers to go out of their way for their customers and try to do what they can to ease the burden of something that's out of the customer's hands and out of Newegg's hands. But I mean, yeah, they are the in-between. Instead, Newegg takes every opportunity to be opportunistic. Every freaking time. Every time. Newegg is the absolute worst. They show it. And I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it. And I've said many times, like, I understand if friends of mine support Newegg, whatever, I'm sure they're fine for this or for that. It's not fine anymore. Honestly, it sucks. Because every time we are already struggling, they're just taking more and more and more. And it pisses me off, okay? Like I can't handle Newegg anymore. I should have saved that for the freaking video, man. But like, whatever. I'm tired of it, man. What did they do during the GPU shortages? Oh, well, I'm glad you asked, by the way. In case you weren't into PCs at the time, but you may have heard of like the Newegg Shuffle. Okay, the Newegg Shuffle was a way during a time when people were actually desperate because a lot of people were being pushed to work from home. They needed a PC, and they were like, "Hey, I have either my company's paying for this or I'm paying out of pocket, but I need parts. I'm going to get a graphics card." Or people are just like, I'm stuck at home. I want a gaming PC. And people were actually desperate. Newegg is like looking at the GPUs they have, and they're like, okay, they want that. And then they're looking at parts on their shelves that have gathered a mountain of dust. Maybe some parts that have actual known issues. Known issues? Like Power supplies that freaking explode? Yeah, we got those. Let's make it so that if people win the Newegg Shuffle, they have to buy their GPU with a bundle. And those bundles, oh boy, they're not the popular parts, I'll tell you that. And that included those very special gigabyte power supplies. So not only are people paying way more than they should for the GPU, just for the blessing of being able to purchase it. Oh, the privilege. But they're also being sent a power supply that is shown to be likely to fry that very GPU. That's who Newegg is. And they want you to forget that. But when they have an opportunity to show that they learned a lesson, like they got pinned to the wall by Gamers Nexus, right? They're good now, right? Are they? Here's an opportunity. Here's an opportunity for them to just be at parity with the market. And they're like, no, we're going to go, 15, 20% higher. Because people come to us and they don't price check. They just heard that RAM prices suck and they're not going to shop. They're just going to go with us. Oh, and that one application that could have been good but turned out to be completely scummy, Honey, that shows you price trends and prices for from different retailers potentially. They turned out scummy. So Newegg would just be paying them to say, oh no, just show them a fake discount here. Anyway, just show them that. So what's your recourse? You have none other than just shop. They're not the only game out there. And obviously they're not good in comparison to their competition. It just makes me upset. I don't know if that came through. I think AM4 budget builds are almost fully gone, but I'm still building just one more AM4 budget build for my brother. That's cool. Okay. In time, they'll start selling power supplies with RAM. Peckish, just go check at a local retailer and see if they have any RAM that has been on the shelf, that was on the shelf before the price increases. See if they still have it at a low price. If it's like a nice local computer shop. If you don't have that, then yeah. Newegg what is it? The problem with Newegg is that it depends on what third-party seller wants to post there. They have there's sold and shipped by Newegg, right? Let's check it. Let's see. Well, sold by Newegg, shipped by Newegg. Sorry, Alucard. I would like to say it's third-party sellers. I would like to say that. The odds of that were low. The thing is, they're having trouble third-party sellers are having trouble getting inventory too. Companies like this use their buying power to scoop stuff up, and they basically scalp stuff now. That's the timeline we're living in. Now, what they do is they don't scalp by doubling the price. No, it is double-digit percentage, though, increase. I missed something. Hold on. Naughty Fox subscribed at Tier 1 for 3 months in advance. Let's go, nerds. Welcome to the swarm. 3 months in advance. Thank you, Naughty Fox. I appreciate that. Sorry, I guess this is why I've been told by, no, go do your rants, dude. It's frustrating. It is frustrating, and we share that frustration. That's the reality of a publicly traded company. Their main goal is shareholder profit above all else. And Dan, I know that. I do know that. And free market economy, all that. late stage capitalism and its inherent lack of regulation. I get it. But like some regulation, a little bit would be cool. Once your corporation reaches a certain size, right? But lobbying doesn't allow for that kind of thing. And I'm not trying to get political. I'm telling you how that works, and you know that. Like, a little bit of regulation is pretty healthy. I could eat ice cream for every meal, but I regulate that a little bit. You know what I mean? But, well, it's a free country. Eat your ice cream. No, it's unhealthy to do that. Eating ice cream for every meal. Just because you can do it doesn't mean it's a healthy thing to do. Right? So, Speaking of power supplies, I just bought a new PSU so I can scrap my E-tier PSU. That's a good move. What's up, Dodger Dog? How's it going? I wonder if Rakuten is the same way. I saved money with them before. I don't know. Maybe. Yeah, they're not on the diagram there, so I didn't look. But I mean, if Micro Center had inventory like what Newegg can get, I would not need Newegg at all for any component. True. And that's how Newegg wants it. Already bought some, and there are no physical stores near me, sadly. Fair. Walmart has some PNY DDR5 kits for original retail price. That's because Walmart, like, they're not in the know in terms of, like, they're not specialized in any one of their many departments. So they're missing the train on scalping their customers. DDR4 RAM. Fair. Okay. What's up, Arutu? How's it going? True Anonymous says, I'll use Newegg to buy PC gear. Other than that, I'm sure things will be fine. The thing is, True Anonymous, you can get that anywhere. I hesitate to call for a boycott of Newegg in a time where there's a shortage of something and they have the thing. What the hell am I supposed to do? But like this is allowed. This is allowed. And the consumers, we are, we're the ones who pay. Like, that's it. It was shown that during these times of short, like, these companies profited they broke records. Oh no, you see, the cost of things went up, so we have to raise the prices. Okay, why is it that your revenue for that year is so vastly inflated then? Funny word, that, right? Inflation? Is that a funny word? Oh, our hands are tied. They should be. How about that? Anyway, great news, by the way. They opened up Micro Center here in Phoenix. Oh, that's cool. They opened that up. That's awesome. Don't have to wait for shipping in the future. That's awesome, Dodger Dog. Have fun with that. That's good. Exile Wolf, what's up? It's going good. I'm already boycotting too many things. I guess you got to pick your battles. It's almost like the shortage is pushing us to buy pre-builts. There's nothing wrong with pre-builts. What I said when I first started the pre-built content on my YouTube channel, the first thing was like, hey, what was that? Yo, Chase Wheels. Chase Wheels coming in with a prime sub. Let's go, nerds. Thank you for 6 months of support, Chase. Thank you very much. Yeah, what I said back then was, I'm a DIY guy too. Like, I feel that. 100%. I feel that frustration because that's what got me to buy a pre-built. I've been building, at that point, I've been building PCs for like 18, 20 years, something like that. And I couldn't do it. When I finally had a reason to, a YouTube channel and video editing and stuff. So I was like, and what I did was I bought a pre-built in just whatever case. And then I bought a really nice case and I built that PC into that new case. Basically, it was a custom PC all the way. It was awesome. That was like good stuff. And I was like, look, DIY builders, like all you're doing is getting the whole PC. You're just gonna be left with an extra case. There you go. Because there were limited options back then. In terms of, like, you would still catch iBuyPower selling PCs in somewhat air restrictive cases. They did I harassed them for long enough to the point where they said, yes, I was a partial influence on them going with their mesh front panel cases of their own case, like the iBuyPower cases, being mesh front paneled and just more airflow focused. Because I was told, like, no, we know about airflow. This is what the market research says people want. Thankfully now, the whole thing with height and now their own style of sort of fish tank cases, that fixed it because it bypasses that front glass that apparently, their focus groups wanted, and just puts the intake on the side and the bottom, and you're good to go. But yeah, anyways, that's a whole long story. Is this a DIY channel? Most of the builds here are custom built by companies. What do you mean? Rarutu, not really. No. If it's not built by the person who buys it, that's a pre-built. It doesn't matter if it's a pre-configured one or you pick the parts. If you don't build it, it is pre-built. That's the root of that term. That doesn't mean it has to be built before you buy it. It has to be it's built before you get it. Like it's built for you. At some point or another. Rubu, what's up? Welcome. Have you checked out Singularity's new computer case, the Dominator? Looks cool, but sadly can't afford or justify it. That is my summary for Singularity cases. I don't do hardline liquid cooling, and I can't afford those. So, can't justify it. Can't justify it because I don't do hardline liquid cooling, and I can't afford it. So, yeah, I'm on the same boat. I do know that there are a couple of companies that will build with Singularity cases. Unfortunately, the main one is Zydax. Zydax has not been very reliable for the last year or so I can't really recommend them. And that's why I took down my coupon code, all of that. And just once the story started coming in of them being of their decline in customer service, because like it's a lifetime warranty. They are now only one of two system integrators that offer lifetime warranty on parts and labor. And only one of those companies actually backs that up with good service. Zydax tends to basically be promising a lifetime of bad service. That's hardly ideal, as you might say. Yo, Braxton. Oh, it's coming in tomorrow. Nice. Nice. I'm excited. I'm excited for you. Never heard of Singularity Rutu? Check them out. That's a Google for you right there. Go check them out. Their cases are really nice. I'm gonna look up the Dominator. I want to see it. Let's take a look at it. No, that's Ashes of the Singularity. Okay, that's why it didn't come up, because it's the Dominus, not the Dominator. Rubu. Or not Rubu. Bone Shock. Bone Shock. It's the Dominus. I was like, why isn't this coming up? And that was why. Yeah, that is $2,500. That case is the price of a 5090. Or a whole gaming PC, including the case. Wow. Limited to 99. That's all carbon fiber, isn't it? Yeah. Carbon fiber tubes, billet aluminum clamps, and 3mm aluminum panels. 3mm. Falcon Northwest would be like, that's it. Carbon filler tubes, aluminum panels. Has carbon fiber panels over distribution plates. Distro plates are CNC machined from clear cast acrylic. Each side contains a D5 reservoir and parts of the loop. The integrated water cooling system is designed for the cleanest possible tube routes as an integrated Singularity computer power board. Those are cool. That's one thing I like, is the fact that they're pushing the whole power board thing, which is made a little bit obsolete by rear connect motherboards, by the way. But it is very cool.
I just recently, like 2 years ago, had to remove a pre-built custom hardline liquid cooling PC. It was an absolute pain. Yeah, it can be, especially if the pre-builder doesn't integrate things like a drain port and a fill port, things like that. Yeah. I see that I've entered into the fun part of the stream. You mean, Michelle, like the whole stream every time? Of course. What's up, Michelle? How's it going? I mean, they knew I was coming. They put one in purple here. They put a picture in purple for me. And yeah, that looks dope. Is it though? Is it like, I feel like I'd rather spend that kind of money on one of the ridiculous showcase in-win cases. You know what I mean? Something with like motorized parts or something like that. I'm not enough into like hardline. You know, Jay's going to get one of these. Out of the 100 they made, one's going to Jay. Like, you better believe it. Wait, is that a $25 90-degree 24-pin connector? Those are like $7. The power board controller is kind of cool for $150, but that does mean this is not your final price on the last of the amount of the money you're going to spend on this case. Okay, their fittings look dope though. Like, I'm not criticizing Singularity here. They knew what they were doing with making 99 of these, and that the people who are willing to spend that kind of money are already spending FU money on their PC anyway. Whatever, it's fine. No sir, no drain ports whatsoever. Gross. I could buy half a Hatsune Miku PC for that. That wouldn't include the monitor though, which apparently, from what I understand, we looked at them, but only the aesthetics. It is 1440p monitor that is not OLED for $500, and it's 27-inch. Get out of here, Asus. Calm down. Yo, Theodore, thank you for the shout out. Appreciate that, by the way. It just popped up here. I don't see that in my chat, but I appreciate you doing that in your stream. Thank you. Exactly, that is what I meant. Awesome. Thing of beauty, but pricey. Yep. They're getting the gold-plated Astral. There you go. Yeah, that. There you go. Yeah. Actually, this would be kind of cool for the Hatsune Miku build. You don't have to do the case. Because let's be honest. The Hyperion's not the best case out there. It's too big, and you get no utility out of the size of that case. Does it have a ton of space for, adding storage drives or anything like that? No. Does it have enough room? Does it have mounting for like a secondary PC internally? I don't think so. Maybe. Does it? I don't know. I need to reach back out to Cooler Master because when I was at Computex last, they told me about something that might work for that. I need to talk to them. Honestly, this PC case looks sick AF, says Michael XPX. Michael, I agree. It does. The PC case looks sick. Price tag makes me sick, but it is, it's priced. Well, things are worth whatever someone willing to pay for them. At least we know that that Newegg thinks so. Newegg is like, oh, prices are rising. Not rising enough. Yeah, there you go. Is this made out of titanium or something? Nope. It is made out of carbon fiber. Like carbon fiber, 3mm thick aluminum, and each of these sides, and I think the front, top, and maybe the bottom, they're all like custom milled distro plates for liquid cooling with spots for multiple D5 pumps and lighting everywhere. I mean, there are only 99 of these that are going to be made. 99 in the world. At Braithorn, what are some reputable PC brands? Your top 3. I don't really have a top 3. There's a lot of really good ones. There are some, unfortunately, that are on that list right there that are not so good, but they're on the list because it's just a list of system integrators. But the problem with the top 3, Fox, is that it should change from one person to another. If you value price to performance over all else, hold on, let me see something here. Yeah, that disappeared because there we go. Oops, that doesn't look right, but sure. If you value price to performance above all else, you shouldn't look at like a boutique builder. But someone who values the purchasing and ownership experience above all else, attention to detail, customization, including artwork, things like that, just the absolute best experience they can get on whatever their budget is, they shouldn't shop at iBuyPower. Because either one could be a wrong decision for the wrong person. So it's going to really depend on what is right for you. I basically have 2 lists. A list of ones that I can recommend, depending on whoever is I'm helping, like whatever seems best for them, and ones that I will not recommend. That's really it. How good they are or what tier they would be in is going to be different from person to person, depending on what they prefer. There's some that are just okay, and that means that they're not going to be a top recommendation for me, you know? Price to performance, my current preference is Skytech. Skytech is really killing it, price to performance wise. Now, when I say that, does that mean that I'm going to recommend a PC company that's just going to screw you over, have terrible service, and not know how to build a PC? No. They still have to have the very basics. Whenever a PC company is telling me what they're about, and they're like, oh yeah, we do good cable management, we make sure our PCs work, we build them really well, I'm like, right, that's every PC company is going to claim that same stuff. What's different about you? And they're like, oh, is that the kind of landscape this is? Like, we actually have to innovate? Damn, what? Yeah. Well, price to performance, high volume sellers, where are they going to compete? In price. And right now, Skytech is blowing everybody out of the water. The 2 that I usually go with are iBuyPower or Skytech for the most price to performance kind of oriented stuff, the highest volume sellers. I don't recommend CyberPower PC. Get them out of here. They are not good with customer service, and they have no interest in improving in that realm, from what I understand. So, but iBuyPower, I think, is a little bit behind right now. Skytech is killing it. Ashved, what's up? Welcome. It's the ROG Strix Helios 2 Hatsune Miku Edition. That's right. Did I say Hyperion? Helios. It's the Helios 2. Isn't that the previous case? Oh, man. They didn't even do Hyperion. I think I remember mentioning that when we were looking at it. I like how Falcon Northwest cases don't have glass. There's not enough normal cases anymore unless you find some older fractal case. I mean, yeah. Or Chaos. That is true. And the size of it is nice. And it does get better airflow than you would ever think just by looking at it, because we're so used to just seeing mesh everywhere or whatever. But yeah. Let's see. We can't have that. That is one good point. Alucard made a good point, responding to you, Naughty Fox, there. That the best way, honestly, because whatever I think, you might have different thoughts on that, right? On what company you want to go with. It's your money. I'm not here telling you, hey, you know, you need to like this. I can't decide that for you. Let me fix this because it's driving me crazy. I hope that works. Here we go. It appears to. Okay. Okay.
Oh, also, there's another thing about this. So yeah, you can go on the Discord and you can look in a group. The Discord is right there, available in chat, and Alucard linked it earlier with !D. Join the Discord. There is a group of channels there that is called SI Testimonials. That is actual community members of the community who not only like watch the content, figured or got help from someone in the Discord who is recommending that they get from somewhere or another based on their form, because it's basically the same way that I do it here. The techies will do it there. They are vetted. They know what they're doing. Really good people. The SI Testimonials is where we have a long list of a bunch of SIs that have their own dedicated channel in there, and people who got advice or have purchased before from that particular brand will go in and talk about their experience. The ones that go the extra mile will have things like pictures if there was damage, or if it was really good, they'll show why with some photos, how the end product was, and just share if there was an issue with the PC, what was the experience like, getting technical support for that. I mean, that's really the best part of it, is that you can look at that, at what other buyers have actually said there, and determine for yourself, well, this works for me. I found a system I like there, it fits my priorities, and people seem to like them. So it's really one of the best things about the Discord. Richard Nicholson, what's up? Portal wall mount case looks dope. Portal wall mount case. I don't know what that is, but that sounds cool. Is that this? Is that what are you talking about? I'm personally a blackout price for performance with preference for my system not being too loud. I do own some Noctua and Be Quiet fans. With that said, Noctua IPPC and Be Quiet high speed and pro fans are not quiet. That is true. Any industrial fan is going to not be quiet. Or industrial oriented fan, basically. High value performance is maybe like 1 degree better. I mean, really, quietness can be important, especially for someone who's doing what I'm doing right now, right? Like where I'm broadcasting. But thankfully, my microphone and my setup here helps with noise. I have actually, I'll say one thing about the King 95. It can be a bit loud, that's for sure, depending on how you have your... I like mine to run cool, so I have the fans go pretty hard. But hey, dynamic supercardioid mic definitely fixes that. But yeah, no problem, Fox. And here's the thing. If anyone is looking for actual recommendations based on your actual budget, what you're going to use your PC for, this is what I do here most of the time. So that's what this... There's a link to a forum. You'll see Stream Elements talking about it. It doesn't pop up down here on screen, but you'll see it in chat. And same thing in YouTube, but it's a little different. On Twitch, the link is right there in chat. You click it, you fill out the form, and you get yourself on this list to get help. And as you can see by the green... Oops, that's not what I meant to do. You see by the green, I've helped out hundreds of people. This is just for this year. That's not even the whole list right there. And that's just for this year. That's a lot of people who are like, hey, I want to play at 4K. My budget is $2,500 and I want a pre-built. Or here's a link to one that I saw. Is it any good? Should I get something different? Or here's a PC part picker list. That kind of thing. Direct one-on-one help is what I do here, if that's something that you think you need. Yeah. Info, you can make anything work and it will be nice. That's true. To some extent. Yeah. On previous screen, it's another case option. It reminded me of the copper wall mount case Billet Labs made. Oh, I love watching Billet Labs' content. Just a little crazy PCs they build. It's actually really therapeutic to watch. There. On the previous screen. I guess I look at build gallery. Oh, look at that. That is my tempo right there. That's my vibe right there. Anyways, Portal. Oh, they did the EVGA E1. That's really cool. God, this looks so good. Did they paint those parts, or they're not? They don't make things in white. I got to get a better look at that though. This is by Meta PCs because of course it is. I forgot Meta PCs uses these. I think anybody who looks at this is not going to be surprised when it's like $7,000 or $8,000 or more. The amount of labor that goes into building something like this, that's when you have a client who's like, I've got $10,000. I want the craziest PC that you can get me. There you go. The amount of labor that goes into bends like this and having how parallel that is, how perfect it is, like that is on another level. And yeah, I don't think anyone would be surprised or shocked to see that, to hear that. But man, there is a certain part of me that this matches perfectly. There's another part of me that would be like, okay, I got to turn off this RGB. It is literally frying my rods and cones right now. I got to, But also, why didn't this get a white power supply? Come on, there's a big old window there. It doesn't matter. It's fine. That's going to be like facing away from you, I guess. But seriously, it's white, purple, and like blue. Like this is gorgeous. I mean, I'm not a huge fan of the back just being exposed like that, I guess. But oh, they did put a white power supply. Why did it look like it did? What is that? What is that? Maybe it's like the power. It's the power. The power board. That's the power board. Never mind. Does that show? Yeah, I guess they painted the outside of it white, but they did a good job. Wallet says game over. Yeah. DRSS 39. Man, thanks for being so helpful and inspirational. Finally built my PC. Thanks for your help. That's awesome. Let's go. DRSS, share that in the Discord in the Rigs channel. Show off your build and your setup if you want. I promise, guys, at some point, I mean, I'm supposed to be doing a YouTube video right now, talking about pre-builts and the current state of things leading up to Black Friday. I haven't started yet. My description for this case is we had no idea what we were doing, but it looks sick. I think there's a pretty clear vision here. Fry everyone's eyeballs in the coolest way possible. Looks like they have a custom res pump plate. All of these plates, these are all singularity plates. All of this stuff is singularity stuff, if I'm not mistaken. But singularity does that. They'll just make things. Pretty cool. Okay. Let's look through some other ones here. I've never really... Meta PCs, they're really good at making really nice custom builds. And I've never really given them the credit they deserve for that. Are there any other builds by other builders? No. Is that the only collab build here? Okay, there's one by Icon. That's cool. I'm going to see that one. Purple and gold. You know we're looking at that. Invicta Gaming. Okay, looks good, looks good. Justin Chu. Yeah, it's pretty dope. Yeah. I like the fact they just used clear coolant. The screen, yeah, of course. Very nice, very nice. Using it just to put your name on there is one thing. You could have just printed something out and put it there. That's a job a sticker could do. I'm being honest with that. But still, I mean, I would say to put some telemetry there would be a little better. Man. So sad. I mean, honestly, I feel like with EK, they were really getting to a point where they were making some of the coolest stuff in liquid cooling in terms of the hardware for it. And then all that stuff happened that apparently had been happening for a while. So sucks, but that's the reality. That's a bad Photoshop job, I'm going to be honest. It looks a little better that way. It's the same picture, but yeah. Power board, pretty sick. Power boards are cool. And the fact that this supports eATX is also nice. But look, that's your 24-pin cable. Look at how clean that is. I see Tony Stark hammering away as watch this build. Oh, yeah. Let's see. There was another one. The purple gold. Well, look at this. This is just a case. Yeah, they painted some parts purple. And it's not... Is it gold or did they... Yeah, I think it is. It's like gold plated. Or it's not, actually. They just did gold RGB and purple. That's a good combo, though. I mean, obviously, I feel that way. I mean... It's my mascot. It's purple and yellow gold. So, a little touch of orange in there. That's dope. It's a pretty good paint job, too. It looks like they painted the aluminum parts, yeah. But so this is purple and black. This is not purple and gold. This is purple and black, and they did like orange RGB. That part is gold. Okay, whatever that is. And then some parts of that. Okay, all right, it's purple and gold. I got you. Okay. I don't like the fact that there are the LEDs are such hotspots. I mean, there's a lot of LED hotspots. Like it's all over the case. I think they need to frost their acrylic a little bit better. And even then, because of how direct it is, how exposed they are, you're gonna get some hotspots. But it's good. It's still very nice. I'm here talking like I would turn it down. I would not refuse this. Are you kidding me? But as being who I am, I can't see something like that and not say it could be improved in this way or another. That's just me. That's who I is. That's who I be. Okay. All right. So we're in a place now where I have killed a lot of time here. It's not really what I'm trying to do with the stream tonight. So I think what we need to do is try doing a video. And I want to share this with you guys. I want to share something with y'all, okay? And I mentioned this a little bit before. The streaming thing, I didn't really stop doing that because I just have to click go live whenever I can. And then bam, I'm streaming. Content creation got away from me completely. A big part of that was my video editing PC being dead at a time where I don't have a regular video editor. And now I don't, like, that's not an excuse I can fall back on anymore. And I recognize it as partially being that because I built this thing and it's awesome. I basically made this guy right here, or I should say this guy right here. There we go. Everything's reversed into a PC. And it's also a rad editing rig. I got no excuses there anymore. The other side is I'm going to be rusty. I had my method of presentation. I had my cadence. I had my sort of awareness of the industry. All of that honed to a razor's edge coming to the end of 2024. And at that point, that was when my longtime partner for the channel had to leave the channel for valid reasons. And he's still a great friend of mine. But that ended up just I was like, I'll be good, I'll be fine. I did one video on my own, and then the holidays hit, and then CES, and then 50 series, and then personal stuff happened, family health issues, and I had to take a step away from content for a few months. And then I realized once I was like, oh, I got to edit a video now on my own, it was just not happening. It just wasn't working. That system before, it would crash. Every time I tried to make a few cuts and scrub through some video, dead. So it's funny to want to then turn around and do this on stream. But I just want to be open with you guys about that and share in the sort of new era, basically, of me making long form YouTube content to help with the current pre-built landscape. It's going to be rough a little bit, and that's what editing is for, obviously. But I don't ever want to hide any of that kind of stuff from you guys. I don't even know. I haven't talked to I had VIP CDK deals for a long time as a YouTube sponsor. I don't even know if I can mention that. I haven't talked to them in forever. So this is going to be just an unsponsored, I'm getting started again video, whatever. It's fine. Just to put that spark in the algorithm again. And we're going to meander. I'm going to ramble, and I'm going to have to cut a lot of that stuff out. Fowler, what's up? Like old school Hollywood marquee. And that is true. You're talking about the hotspots? That's true. Eclipse, what's up? Welcome. So yeah, why don't you guys come along? I'm not gonna show the supporter bar. I'm not gonna show chat. I'm gonna have that stuff off to keep just a clean screen for just clean footage for the video. Let me see. I think I can record on my Rodecaster. I'm going to test this later. I'm going to turn the music off just so that I don't have to worry about that. But I'm going to test later whether I can play music and record. And I believe I have it set up to put out 2 channels to where it has music and me talking separately. But I'm going to not do that here. I'm really apprehensive going back into making content. I have been for a while now. Like, I don't know if I still got it. I remember a long time ago when I first started doing YouTube stuff, and very few people were watching because I was doing stuff other people were already doing. And it wasn't my niche. I hadn't discovered it yet, or my niche had not discovered me yet, basically. And it was someone at work who because, you know, you tell your coworkers, hey, I put up a new video, you should check it out. And it was someone at work who said, I don't know what it is that makes a good YouTuber, a good person for being on YouTube, but whatever it is, you got it. As in just talking on camera and being able to come up with stuff to present, come up with videos, and just be a presenter on camera. And that, for me, I was like, that's pretty awesome. Thank you. I don't know. I don't think either of us knows what that means, but it's a nice thing to say. But that stuck with me. But, you know, see if I still got it. Now, while I'm doing this, I'm probably not going to be responding to chat that much. I'll basically, when I reach a stopping point, I'll check out what's been going on in chat. But if anyone's like, why isn't he responding? If y'all could just let them know. Just let them know what's up, what I'm doing. Nobody has submitted a form or anything, so I'm not. I was thinking that's what was going to happen tonight. With Black Friday still being a few weeks away, a couple of weeks away, I figured that's what would happen tonight. So that's what we're going to do, and it's going to be fun. All right, Alucard. See ya. A pinned message might help. All right. Okay. The funny thing is, in the meantime, basically anyone's going to be able to go to YouTube and watch this segment of the stream and have watched the video. But I'm going to ask you guys a favor. I have no place in the YouTube algorithm right now. I'm still getting views. Don't get me wrong. I'm still getting like thousands of views a month. Like it's in the 25K or so range. But that's old videos. So the algorithm's going to be like, yo, he just posted a video. What do we do with this? We don't know if people are going to want to watch this or not. And of course, that is completely up to me, the algorithm. So I'm going to ask you, even if you are here hearing all this stuff, I post that thing in announcements. Please click it. Check out the video. Help boost it in the algorithm a little bit. I buried on the hot takes clip on Nerds on a Budget got me here. I liked your tempo and your sincerity overall. Well, thank you. It's funny, Fox, because I had a hotter take than that one. But I didn't feel like really, I had a minute, or was it a couple? It had like 3 minutes, I think. So I didn't want to go into that. But it was related. Basically that X3D chips are overhyped and overpriced. But that's where the whole, the only benchmark that matters is enjoyment to gamers. The only benchmark that matters is enjoyment. It all stemmed from that. I still loved X3D chips, don't get me wrong, but man, you need it, IMO. Okay. I still feel like this space is just kind of wasted. But what are you going to do? What if I do this? I think I got this. Hold on. Oh, it's going to look very different. That's if I just want to show the desktop. That's the wrong desktop, actually. That's you guys. I think this will work. Yeah, this will be fine. Why is that popping up? Okay, so I need to turn off It is off. There, we fixed it. See, chat was popping in for a second in that little transition. It was just an extra copy of the browser thing. Okay. And right there, got to turn those off. Oh, it's flipped. 1 second. There we go. And I can turn off that. Okay, time to see how the sausage is made. I've always hated that saying. Okay, why is that back on? Okay. Okay. Let the boy watch. What does that mean? What do you mean by that? I don't know if I like that sentence. Okay. I am going to bring up the new egg thing. Am I going to rant a little bit? Probably. Enjoy, I guess. How does this look? That looks fine. Will Ferrell. Okay. Gucci Gandalf is great. A great name, by the way. But I'm glad you got it. What, any popcorn then? Absolutely. Oh, from Eastbound and Down. Okay. Says Michelle. Okay, cool. Never watched it, so makes sense that I didn't get it. All right. Yeah, get your popcorn, everybody. This is gonna be the less interactive part of the chat, and that's okay. Oh, I might need to turn this on. One second. Okay. It's the Thermaltake Tower 600. But as you can see in the pinned chat, Gucci Gandalf, unfortunately, this is the part where I'm going to be recording a YouTube video. So let's make sure we're focused. Good. So it's going to be a little bit less responsive. Sorry about that. But yeah, I got to de-rust and get back into making YouTube videos. So I'm just doing it with you guys so I can get a little bit of support. And I appreciate y'all very much. Whatever happened to Sunday Night Gaming? Nobody was watching it, Peter. Just like a few people were, and you were one of them, and I appreciate you. But there might be some coming back as I have a few collab gaming streams that some people want to do. So, but they will be sort of focused in that way. People want me to talk about PCs. That's cool. I love having a niche. It's great. And I'm happy to have one. But I got to remember that I have one. Okay, we hit record right there, and we'll do a record right here. There we go. All right. Just in case any of my backup audio cue. Okay, so I really need to fix the XLR cable on this. It just bothers me. But oh well, it's what I need it so I can fold this thing up and sort of put it away. All right. how do I start it? Because I'm supposed to be changing the name of the show from SI Weekly to PC Gateway. Okay, I got this. On this episode, we're back and we have a lot to talk about. Rising price. Okay. On this episode, we're back and we have a lot to talk about with rising prices of RAM. How is it going to affect Black? Okay. On this episode, we are back and we have a lot to talk about. Black Friday is coming, but how are the rising prices of DDR5 going to affect them? Let's find out. On this episode of System Integrators, actually, no, it's not System Integrators Weekly. Now it's PC Gateway. Oh, hold on. I need this. Okay. Actually, no, it's not. On this, all that and more on this episode of System Integrators. Wait, no, it's who's messaging me like right now? What? Why did my light just go like, oh my God. What is happening? Google, leave me alone. And then my light just goes nuts. Okay, cool. All right. All that and more on this episode of System Integrators. Actually, no, it's not that anymore. Welcome to PC Gateway. Let's go, nerds. Let's try again. Welcome to PC Gateway. Let's go, nerds. It sounds a lot better with the effects. I could even do that right now if I wanted to, but I'd rather do it in post. It's just, I get more control over it. All right. That was crazy. Like I'm turning off my ringer. Like that was 3 emails from Google. I guess some of my Twitch subscriptions to other streamers went through like all at that moment. How about that? There we go. Okay. Hello, everyone. I'm Brea Thorne. Welcome back to what was System Integrators Weekly. We're changing the name of the show because, as you might know, it certainly has not been weekly for a while now. Took quite a long break from consistent YouTube content, but we are getting back to it now. And boy, oh boy, is it needed at this time. Because buying a pre-built PC or even putting together a parts list for a DIY build is getting pretty tough. We're going to talk about it. But now, new show is PC Gateway because for a lot of people, this has been, and it will continue to be, the gateway to getting into PC gaming and, if you want to, maybe some PC DIY. So, the main thing that we need to talk about in this, the first thing we need to talk about in this video is the very quickly rising prices of RAM, system memory. So what's going on? Of course, you can blame AI. AI is doing its thing that it has done with GPUs. Now it's doing it to system memory because all these AI data centers are being built and they need lots of server RAM. And most brands are preferring to produce server memory over making consumer grade memory because there's just more money in it. So that means that, of course, they're telling us, hey, this is what we're doing because there's a lot of money in it. And that's probably going to be for the next few years. Enjoy, buyers. Yeah, great. Thanks for that. As if we didn't have a bad enough time through the first half of 2025 just trying to get a GPU at something near the promised MSRPs during their keynotes. Now it's system memory. So let's take a quick look at what that might look like. Actually, there's something I need to interject first. So this is part of the editing process. I'm going to be like, oh, I forgot to say this. Go ahead and cut it out, put it in between these parts, and then that's how that goes. Now, before we get into it, let me give you a few disclaimers. They're going to be up here on the screen, but a quick run through is that this is being filmed for, actually, I need to look at the date. I never look at the date before I don't care, Steam. Get that thing out of the way of the date. Thank you. So it's being filmed for the week of November, Am I crazy? November the 9th. Okay.
This is basically the third week of November. Okay. This video is being filmed for the third week of November 2025. Any pricing and availability that you see here, oh boy, it's probably going to be changing. Not only because of rising prices, but also because Black Friday coming up. So keep that in mind before you go spend any money somewhere and realize, oh wait, that's not the price I saw in that video I just watched. The next thing is, of course, you're going to hear opinions here, and they're my opinions. I am going to be pointing out some facts, but also I'm going to be saying what I think about them. And the third thing is that this is not financial advice. That says it. This is just my opinions on stuff. It is not me telling you what to buy or taking any responsibility for what you buy. And the last thing is, if you are on the fence between going with a pre-built or going DIY, you just can't decide, I will normally suggest you go DIY to save some money if you're thinking about maybe doing it anyway. There's lots of great guides out there. But right now, it may turn into the situation just like with GPU shortages, where pre-builts are kind of the way to go in terms of getting more for your money. So we'll take a look at that. Let's get into it. Okay. Peckish, I'm not going to be responding to, okay, but you have a question for me. The RAM I bought, it's on the motherboard's QVL, but not in the 2x8 config. It should work. I can't tell you, Peckish, whether it would work or not. I have no idea. You'll have a better chance of telling me whether it would work than me telling you. If it's not on the list, that is definitively not telling you that it'll work completely fine. It should, potentially. There's nothing keeping it from doing that unless, for some specific reason, they didn't list that configuration of RAM. But technically, generally, if you're going QVL, you do it for a reason. You're going to buy whatever is on the QVL list. Again, these are one of those things where you do that before you buy anything, just to make sure that you're getting something compatible. Okay, so what we're going to... Okay. So let's look at some price trends right now, and specifically this kit of memory right here, or this category of memory on PC Part Picker. This is PC Part Pick. Okay. This is pcpartpicker.com/trends/price/memory. And that's where you can find a bunch of different configurations. The one I'm interested in is DDR5 6000 in 2x16. I guess I'm not going to have the moving camera because then I have to get it back centered for the main shot. Average price in US dollars over the last 18 months showed that although there were some luxury kits or very low-priced kits that were, on the edges, the average pricing here is very, very consistent until just after this summer. And it has gotten so bad that it is quite literally off the charts. Like, I'm actually, my face is blocking this a little bit. It is quite literally off the charts, which is just crazy. Now, not all of these are off the charts. Like, a lot of these are very well within range, but the most popular ones are. Now, we have to look a little deeper than this than just looking at price trends in general, because if we go and look at a very popular kit here, this, of course, is the Kingston. Let me go up here. If we go look at a very popular kit here, this, of course, is the Kingston Fury Beast, 32 gigs, DDR5 6000, CL30. This is a really nice, straightforward kit, no RGB, so it's not, it doesn't have anything really contributing to extra pricing on it. It does have, a heat spreader on it, and it looks pretty nice. Very reliable memory, high performance, and great for, your, Ryzen 7000 and 9000 series CPUs, and of course, as well for Intel. But if we look here, there is on this price history chart here, there are two resellers that we're looking at, Memory C and Newegg. And as you can see, well, Newegg's having a good old time with this. Though Memory C seems to be trying to follow pricing trends very reactively. I mean, they are really going with whatever they get it for. They're adding their margin, their profit margin, and then selling it. Newegg sees these trends and they're like, well, okay, people have to have their memory.
We're just going to charge more than literally anyone else. And because we're Newegg, people will pay it. Like it's just the classic Newegg. If you've been around for a while and you remember the Newegg shuffle shenanigans and me screaming about those, well, you know how I feel about this. Newegg is proving, again, in a pinch when people are already desperate. Well, that's their best time of the year. They're living their best lives. And they're like, oh, cool. This is how we reach record profits, even though there's times of shortages and price increases and scalping. They're cutting out the middleman and scalping it themselves. And the way they're getting away with it is that they'll do it maybe just $50 or $30 above anybody else. And they know a lot of people are not going to shop around. They're just going to be like, well, it's more expensive. I'll just get it anyways. In something like a $2,000 or $2,500 build, $2,000 or $2,500 build, something like an extra $30 or $50 is kind of a drop in the bucket, especially if you're like, well, I buy everything on Newegg and I want to be able to return it to Newegg because surely they'll never take advantage of people in RMAs. So Newegg, again, being the hero that nobody wants. Their own hero. Yeah. So that right there, I believe, is what's artificially inflating this here in terms of this particular kit of RAM, because I'm fairly certain if we look at multiple different kits, we're going to see the same thing. Now, how is this going to affect system integrators, companies that put together PCs and sell them to you? Well, it's going to be disproportionate. It's not going to be the same for every builder. What do I mean by that? Well, if you're looking at someone like a high volume seller, iBuyPower, Skytech, they are able to purchase at a volume that will minimize any kinds of price hikes. They have more direct contact to supply, or they have preferred status with suppliers where they are the biggest accounts those suppliers have. iBuyPower is the largest system integrator in North America. They sell more gaming PCs than Dell and HP and all those OEMs. They sell hundreds of thousands of PCs per year. That commands certain pricing, and though their prices will increase, and because they're doing it in such a high volume, they will feel that. They won't feel it as much as, say, a boutique builder. A boutique builder like your Alexander PCs, SICK PCs, companies like that are smaller builders, and some of them are small enough, boutique, where you have just one or two builders, and they're putting these PCs together in just a la carte for people, just like exactly how they want them made. They buy, a lot of them will buy their parts when they sell a PC. They'll, if they don't have a specific kit of RAM that they use for everything, if they have anything like options there, they might be sourcing it right when you order it. Some larger boutique builders, because there is a gradient even in boutique, some larger boutique builders will have stock and they'll be cushioned from this for a little while. But you got to understand, this is going to go on for at least a year, maybe two. And that's gonna be felt. Okay, so when this was going on when this was happening to GPUs, it was more dire, because GPUs, that is the most expensive component in your PC. If it's a gaming PC, it should be the most expensive component in your PC. And when those prices are inflated, I mean, 20% on something that is already $900 or $1,000 is going to be a much bigger price increase than adding 20% on something that is $120. Although what we're seeing here, by the way, those charts I was showing you, DDR5 is at more than double its price in many configurations right now. But even then, during some of the hardest times, during GPU shortages, particularly the one in 2020 and all that, 2021, I mean, you were seeing some GPUs that were double their price, being scalped at double their price. So this has happened before, and it was way more destructive at that time. What we have to hope is that this is going to cap out soon, and it will just be a known element when you're parting out your PC, when you're figuring out the parts for your PC, or when a system integrator is figuring out their cost. We have to hope that's what's going to happen. Otherwise, I mean, who knows how bad it could get, but I don't anticipate it would get worse than triple price on RAM. That's not as happy a sentence as I would like it to be. It's a pretty sad one. But, you know, it's still not as bad as GPUs being scalped. So we'll have to take what we can get. So what you're going to see is Black Friday is going to be better at high volume sellers. It's going to be less affected. I have a way around this. I do have some exciting news for you guys. Stick around because I've got something that is going to be another collab PC just for Black Friday that I'm doing with a very, very cool company. And I think you guys are really going to like it. But, and for that, the RAM has already been sourced. So don't expect those prices. We have a dynamite price on this kit, on this PC, and it's going to be, you're going to love it. But we'll get to that. First, let's take a look at probably, if you're looking for something like the Black Friday deal, I'm probably going to be recommending if you prefer price to performance, like you want the highest performance you can get for a certain amount of money dollars, and you're not really looking to shop around too much, you just want to get the best deal you can. Nobody in this category has really, in my opinion, been beating Skytech. And I looked live on stream because, by the way, I do stream every Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday at around 8 p.m. Central, helping people one-on-one to find the right pre-built or to help them put together a parts list based on their budget and needs. And you could be that they. That they could be you. On Twitch and here on YouTube, by the way. Shout out to Twitch and YouTube chat who are patiently sitting through this as I do a YouTube video live on stream. Maybe that's going to be the new thing. Who knows? Does this also have something to do with upcoming Black Friday adjusting price up a lot? Excuse my spelling. Fowler, no. This certain people have been talking about this happening for a little while now because of the boom of AI. Finally, all the data centers being built means that RAM is hard to come by. So it hasn't affected GPUs yet. That already happened, but it's going to happen again because of VRAM. So, okay. Boutique sellers will feel it in their bones. What's up, Tanmay? Sorry you came in. I don't have a pinned message in the YouTube chat, but there is one in Twitch chat saying, sorry, I'm not responding to chat. I will now and then. It's just, between segments. Oh, I got to add this. Now, as I was talking about this on stream, and boy, I kind of went off on Newegg because this is a behavior they've shown plenty of times before during any hard times for PC builders or PC buyers. If it gets tough, Newegg gets tougher on us. One person mentioned, Alucard actually mentioned, that it could be a third-party seller that is artificially inflating this price right here. But when you go to what PC Part Picker lets you do is they actually let you go to check the price on that particular part, the actual page for it, which, by the way, Amazon is perfectly matching this. So you're not going to be able to tell Newegg, oh, price match Amazon. And I don't know if they price match MemoryC.com. When we went and looked, yeah, it is... when we went and looked, yeah, it is sold by Newegg. That's the wrong button. Sorry. But yeah, when we went and looked, it says right there, sold by Newegg and shipped by Newegg. They're getting all the profits on this. Just right here, zero justification needed. They're like, oh, man, prices are going up. Oh, no. Well, when prices go high, we go higher. And it's just not, it's not a good look, Newegg. And it's a look we're all very familiar with when it comes to you. That Newegg shuffle was an absolute nightmare. I talked about the Newegg shuffle because it just so happened that when people were desperate to get GPUs, you had to be, first off, lucky enough to get the privilege of buying a bundled GPU from them just by a drawing. And then they would force you to buy, other parts that were collecting dust on their shelves that they would not take back in return unless you sent the GPU with it. And one of those parts is some bundles happen to include, the exploding gigabyte power supplies. So not only did you have to get lucky enough to buy a GPU at an inflated price with a part you didn't want, But sometimes they sent you a part that would actually potentially fry the GPU you were so desperate to get in the first place. Good job, Newegg. Anyway, so in case you were thinking it's a third-party seller or scalper, nope, it is a first-party scalper. Araxinus is like deja vu. Is it a glitch in the Matrix? Okay. So if you're looking for price to performance on, so if you're looking for a Black Friday deal that's going to be price to performance, I don't have those yet from Skytech, and I don't know how RAM might affect them, how the RAM pricing might affect them. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to reach out to Jeff, who's the CTO over there, and I'm going to see if he foresees any issues with Black Friday sales due to that. But what's going to happen is I'll do another video closer to Black Friday where I go over some price to performance deals from Skytech and others, and I'll try to have those ahead of time so that you guys can have something to look forward to there. But don't forget, I do have my own Black Friday deal I'm going to talk about here coming up soon. So, but let's take a quick peek at some of the things that you might be able to find at Skytech. Of course, all I do is I go to Skytech Gaming, click on pre-built gaming PCs, and that brings you here, where you can actually go in and tell it, hey, I want something with a, I don't know, 7600X or 9800X 3D. Or actually, you know what? I want the Intel Core Ultra 7 265K because I want to edit videos. Oh, there's one system. Look at how much it narrowed that down. 265K, 5070, and it is $2,099. Interesting, actually. Funny to see that. We're going to save that for later. Okay. Take note of that. But if that's not what just whatever CPU you want, or you can go here, pick a GPU, or you can go down here and pick memory capacity. There's only two systems of 64 gigs of RAM, but if you're going to get into editing video, you might want to go for that and try to get 64 gigs of RAM at a price that's not absolutely crazy. Because 64 gig kits of RAM are pretty crazy. If we go back into PC Part Picker and we tell it we want 64 gigs by going 2x32, and we go to the lowest price available. This is zoomed in, so it's not, there we go. And we try to see the lowest price available. Well, that's DDR4. We would want maybe DDR5. Okay, cool. DDR5, 64 gigs. This Corsair Vengeance kit is $239. It's DDR5 5600 CL40. This is not a good kit of RAM. Okay, let's keep putting more specifics here to match the same specs that we saw on the 32 gig kit. Bam, bam, and shabam. DDR5 6000 CL30. Lowest price kit is $360. And this RAM previously was, oh my God, 160. That's crazy. Was it just not? Yeah, it was $158. And only Newegg is doing, oh my God, Newegg. Okay. Cool. Trident Z5. Amazon versus Newegg. Memory C is just here. They don't still carry it. Why aren't they showing? Oh, Amazon pricing is not included in price history graphs. Maybe too many third-party sellers there. But yeah, this is what's happening to RAM prices, by the way. Just saying. Let's look at this. G-Skill Ripjaw's M5. Yep. Boy, that looks familiar, doesn't it? Smooth it out and double it. You got a half pipe. Do some Tony Hawk stuff or whatever. It's ridiculous. Trident Z5 Neo. Looks the same. Yeah. Newegg Business is typically where I source almost all the memory for my PCs too. Mikey, what's up? Did I ever introduce you to my buddy at Kingston? I need to do that. He does the SI accounts, so I'll do that. I don't know why I haven't done that yet. Anyway, but right here you can tell it, hey, I want 64 gig kit in my PC, and look, this one is a $2,000 PC with 64 gigs. That's kind of crazy.
This is limited quantity though, but 64 gigs is kind of crazy at this price point. It is DDR5 5600, so it's high capacity, not very fast, pretty good for video editing, but not necessarily photo editing, because photo editing, like, Adobe Photoshop requires faster memory. But a 9070 XT, 9800X3D for $2,000, pretty rad, but like, it's a little unbalanced, I guess. It's definitely not a bad PC for sure, but it is limited quantities. By the time you see this video, those might be gone. But basically, if you're looking to get the best price possible, hold off till Black Friday. There's going to be some specific deals here, and I'm going to try to have some of those deals in a video for you guys before Black Friday. So stay tuned. Get subscribed too. When I said that, did it make the subscribe button sparkle or something? Can you like rewind and see if it does that? I know it does it for bigger channels. I don't know if it'd do it for me. How about this one? Let me know if it doesn't affect when I say click the like button for science. Like, I just want to see this for science to see if it does this. Like when I say click the like button, does it do anything? Did it do it when I said it the second time or just the first? These are all questions that I have. Anyways. But yeah, if you're trying to save money on stuff, or if you plan on maybe getting something that's at a lower price right now and maybe getting into upgrading it later on, get subscribed, because I am bringing back the production of Pre-Built Rebuilt, a series I've been working on for a very long time, and I have to kind of redo everything now. But yeah, that's actually possible now, so we're doing it. And I'm going to teach you step by step, video by video, how to upgrade the PC that you get or already have. Because if buying a new PC right now isn't possible and yours needs some upgrades, but you're a little afraid to get in there, I got you. And I'll make it easy as possible. So, but just looking through these, as you can see, one of the benefits I think that Skytech has going for them is the wide variety of aesthetics they have. They'll have a lot of options aesthetically that you can take a look at. And one of my favorites, of course, being the King 95 from Montech, and they use that case liberally, but there's a lot of cases you might have never seen before. And some of these are from case manufacturers that make other good quality cases, but they make a special version for Skytech, that kind of thing. That actually happens. In fact, there is a special King 95 in rose gold that you can only get from Skytech. Some with wood paneling here, but I would recommend going to this bar right here. Whenever you're looking for Black Friday deals, they're probably gonna have a dedicated page, but you can also usually go here to this where it just says pre-built gaming PCs, and then just move the price slider. If your budget is around $1,500, just put it to just under $1,500 and just over it. Now you can go an extra bit over whatever your budget is, because I have a coupon code for you. It is SWARM, SWARM. Now before you're like, oh, of course he's talking about Skytech. He has a coupon code there. Yeah, it does support me when you do that, but you're supporting me by saving you money. And I have a whole list of coupon codes for a bunch of different system integrators, because I do want you to be able to get discounts at different places and have options as to where to go. And also, it does support what I do in trying to help people out to navigate through this crazy landscape of pre-built PCs, and it can be a little daunting. But yeah, tons of options here, even at this limited price point of about $1,400 to $1,650. Now, another thing about my coupon code with them is that it stacks. When you first go to skytechgaming.com, you'll find that it pops up a thing to put your email in and get a $50 off coupon. My coupon code stacks with that, along with any other coupon codes you see listed here. And some of these will have that. There aren't any on the $1,500 range here, but if we raise this up, I'm sure we will see one. Here we go. Use code Deal of the Week, or DOTW 2025, to get $100 off, and that stacks with code SWARM, which gives you a fixed percentage off, which scales with whatever the price of the PC is. Pretty rad. There you go. Okay, now, one of the downsides of going with price to performance, Skytech knows how to build a PC. They've sent me, multiple PCs, and wherever I saw room for improvement, I gave them that feedback, and they took it to heart and made improvements. Gotta hydrate a little bit. with the future we're heading towards, our industry will seemingly always have this problem. I wonder what the next one's going to be. I don't know about always, but often maybe. Can't wait. This is a channel I needed. Fox, that's awesome. Yeah, there's a ton of previous content covering all this kind of stuff in the past. Pre-built reviews too, because I'll get pre-builts sent to me from a company and I'm like, okay, let's see what your best effort is, because it's obviously they know they're sending it to me. I'll still find mistakes and errors. You don't look at that and decide whether the company's for you though. Go to the SI testimonials in our Discord and say, okay, that pre-built they knew they were sending them looked pretty good. How is it for actual buyers? And then other community members have reported their experiences, and that's what you should really listen to. But you know, getting to see what the unboxing experience is like, and setting it up, and how it runs games, what the thermals are like, that's the main stuff that most people need to know. And then add to that, how do they treat their customers after they get their money? Because that is the real measure of any company. That Aqua looks nice. It is. There's a lot of already great PCs here. Like, there's a lot of these where it's like, why wait for Black Friday? Now, okay, back to it. Now, one of the downsides of going with any price to performance company is, let's say that we're going to look at this Azure 3 right here. Okay, because a Ryzen 7 7700 non-X and a 5070, 32 gigs of DDR5 6000, the actual correct memory frequency for this CPU, 2 terabytes of Gen 4 storage. Wait, just Gen 4 is what it says. Okay, what motherboard is in there? B650. That's the chipset. That's part of the motherboard, but that's not what motherboard it is. Okay, what kind of cooler goes in there? 360 millimeter AIO. Okay. No brand names on any of this stuff. Don't know what motherboard, like what level of motherboard this is, other than what the chipset says. And then you have to go look up what chipsets mean. 850 watt gold ATX 3.0 on the power supply. How do I look that up on the PSU tier list? Well, you can't. That's kind of the problem. Skytech sells a lot of PCs. They can't just build PCs haphazardly when they're selling that many. That's a great way to have your company shut down. And Skytech's been around, I don't know, a couple decades now. They've been around a long time. However, you're not going to know what motherboard you're getting. As a matter of fact, if we take a look at this PC that's in the picture here, this doesn't even match the description. And they say so. To be fair, it says down here on this gray text on a white background. That's not my favorite thing. But product images used on this page are for illustrative purposes only and are not indicative of exact components used at the time of manufacture. And that is what they need to put there, because you'll notice this says B650, not B650M. This is an MATX motherboard in a full ATX case, which is one of my least favorite things. Now, that's not what they're selling. They're not putting MATX motherboards in here. They are accurate to the actual standard of the motherboard, whether it's, you know, B650M or I or whatever. If it's an ITX build or an MATX build, it will tell you. So it always makes me wonder why in their hero shot they would put a very bare bones, you see there's not even any VRM heat sinks on this thing, very bare bones MATX motherboard in a full ATX case. You see why this is an issue. Like, these cables cannot be managed well. They're going to be hanging all the way down to where the cable management holes are on the bottom. That's just never going to look good. But what I think it is, and Skytech, y'all can confirm or deny this, I don't know. But I think they show some of the lower end potential hardware, or like the worst case scenario, so that when you're looking at this, if you're happy with this, you're like, oh, that looks fine. That looks good. That looks good enough for me. Then you'll be even happier when you get what it's actually spec'd out to get. I think that's a safe way to approach it. I just hate looking at this like on a fundamental emotional level. I hate looking at this because this is just a bad practice. You know who I actually once called out for this? And he was very gracious about it and said he took it to heart. Someone I once called out for this was Zach, Mr. Tech Turf himself.
Zach's Tech Turf, because they have ZTT builds. And a couple years ago, I looked at ZTT builds and a couple of other quote unquote influencer SIs. And I called out the terrible, not only was it an M-ATX motherboard and a full ATX case, but it was a terrible bottom of the barrel motherboard with one M.2 slot on it. And yep, he put a 512 gig drive on there. And I was like, dude, do you hate computers? What is this? And he was like, you know what? Thank you for the feedback. You're right, man. That's our budget PC. That's our lowest budget PC, but that doesn't mean it has to be bad. You know, like that it should have those kind of bad features. And yeah, they changed it. Like, that's my favorite thing about this job, is giving legitimate constructive criticism, sometimes in a cheeky way, and having people be like, you know what, fair. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, we'll fix that. Or you can be Apex Gaming PCs and first offer me money, then ignore my multiple critiques in full-on videos and just try to keep doing business as usual, except for the fact that they totally removed the AI art after I roasted them for it. And what a roast that was. Anyway, moving on. So, yeah. That's just sort of a breakdown of some of the downsides. You're not going to know what parts you're getting, and that means in order to hit these price points, they are going to be more budget-oriented components. Okay? Now, I know that Skytech will not intentionally send out something like power supplies with known issues, things like that. But because then that's RMAs, and RMAs are the #1 money pit for system integrators. Well, that and packaging and shipping. Good Lord. But yeah, they're not going to intentionally do that. But you never know. They could get a bad batch, and they're shipping these things out very fast. So the good thing, the good news here is that Skytech has shown time and time again that they have good customer support, and they will take care of the problem if there is one. And let me tell you, any system integrator, even the most the boutiquiest boutique SI, it's still a computer. It's still running Windows 11. It can still have problems. You're just going to have a little bit more sort of catered customer support when you're going through a boutique builder. Some of them are smaller companies where they can't be on the phone 24/7, but you're going to get really good support. Larger SIs will have a larger team for tech support and all that, but it's not going to be as personalized and all that. But Skytech has shown they have good support and they'll take care of you. So as sort of a shotgun thing to sort of cover most Black Friday stuff, I'm going to say I'm probably going to do a video that's going to cover 1 or maybe 2 larger SIs and then 1 or 2 boutique builders. But now we got to talk about what I'm doing for this Black Friday, because you see, I used to cover as many Black Friday deals as I could to give the widest coverage. And the problem is a lot of them would be like this, where I don't know what's going to be in it. And I certainly wouldn't cover something like Amazon. I don't really recommend you buy off of Amazon or Newegg or go to Best Buy. Even if it's the same company as one I was showing, Skytech, you can get from Best Buy and Amazon. It is a different experience, and a big cut of the profit margin of that PC goes to that third-party seller. Meaning that if Skytech still wants to make money, it literally cannot be the same as the PC you would buy off of their website. It can't. Third-party resellers get a big cut. That's just how it goes if you want to compete on that level. So I always say go directly to the system integrator. But that's why I don't recommend those. I have no idea what parts are really going to be in them. Even if it shows a picture, it's probably going to be different when you get it. Just don't take that risk. There's going to be there's going to be tens of thousands of people who do it anyway. You don't have to be one of them because you're here and you're going to know better. So because that was always a nerve-wracking thing for me, what I did last year was I worked with a company to do collab Black Friday deals, and I did 2 PCs. I even did an 11-hour stream where I built them myself to just show each one what parts are going in it, what they look like being put together, tested them a little bit, did all that stuff. It was really cool. And I built 2 PCs in one stream, and I'm never doing that again.
And I'm going to be doing that again this year with a different company. Those PCs came out great. I'm actually using the one that was for gaming and streaming. I've been using it as my main streaming PC for almost a year now, and it's been working awesome because I was so picky about the parts. When you're looking at a high volume seller's price to performance deal, you can rest assured that your motherboard is going to be a budget motherboard. Your power supply is going to be a budget power supply. Your storage will be budget storage. That said, 2 terabytes NVMe Gen 4. That's probably going to be something like an NV3, which is a fine M.2 if you're on a budget to get 2 terabytes of storage on a budget. But it doesn't have onboard DRAM cache. Well, I like when an M.2 drive has onboard DRAM cache. Does it cost more? A little bit. Yeah. But depending on what you're doing with the PC, you can really feel the benefits of that. Excuse me. I also am obsessed with motherboards. And I don't like budget motherboards. They serve a purpose if you're just going to be gaming. But if I'm doing a Black Friday deal, I want it to cater to anyone that might be purchasing it. Meaning if they're going to be just gaming, it does a job. If they're going to be gaming and streaming, it'll do that job. If they're going to do video editing, it'll do that too. And well. And you can also add on extra RAM if you want. And with this one, you couldn't do with the last one. Okay, I'm getting ahead of myself. So, what company am I working with for this one? Last time it was Skytech. That went off great. This time, it's a company that never does Black Friday deals. Alexander PCs. They are, bar none, the most consistently well-regarded system integrator in our Discord. They've been helping people in the community for years now, and taking good care of anyone who buys a PC from them. They are a boutique builder, a smaller scale builder than someone like Skytech by a lot. But that means you get one builder from start to finish. You get a lifetime parts and labor warranty with your system. You get shipping included. You get custom cables, cable extensions in the color of your choice. You get better parts in every single category. Does that cost more? Yes, that's a boutique build. And I, for this build, have gotten to choose every single part. And they have already sourced the memory for these systems. So any further increases in memory prices are not going to be an issue. And fun fact, TJ, the owner of Alexander PCs, is not doing this halfway. They're going all out. He wants this system to be near the price, with it being built, with an operating system installed, having it being tested, shipped, and lifetime warranted, just around the price of building it yourself based on a PC part picker list. With no warranty, with you having to wait for the parts to come in, put in the work to put it together, which can be fun, obviously. I love doing that. But you might not want to. But you don't always want it to be the case that if I just did this myself, it would be cheaper. Of course, that's the way that works. Change your own oil, it's cheaper. Cook your own food, it's way cheaper. But we can't always do that. So, TJ wanted this Black Friday deal to be that you can't build this much cheaper than getting it in this one deal. And it's going to be awesome. We actually got it to just $50 above the PC part picker list at $19.98 for the parts we're going to be putting in this. It's going to be a 1440p gaming monster with 2 platform options going Intel or AMD, because that's what I wanted. Because if you want to do like video editing, Intel's going to be the better choice, and yada, 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 all these things. We're going to go over that in the content for it, and including the stream that may be later this week where I'm going to be building it at, hopefully, Alexander PCs. Let's bring up the site real quick as I'm talking about this. I'm going to be attempting to fly up to, take a flight up to Chicago this week. Let's see if it gets canceled, because that's kind of the way things are going right now, so that I can visit the warehouse, visit the building, and do a live stream where TJ and I build one of these things, maybe 2 of them. And that means somebody who's going to get one of these Black Friday PCs might get the one that I built, which would be pretty cool. I'll figure out something special to do for it just because of that. Some signature thing I can do with it. We'll see. But this is Alexander PCs. If you're curious about what it means when I say lifetime parts and labor, absolutely feel free to go to alexanderpcs.com, read up on it, okay? Like any warranty out there, there is fine print because that's how warranties work. But there's a lot of really cool stuff on here. This is actually the first company I ever did a collab PC with, way back when. And it went really well. They sold really fast, actually. So that's something you might be able to expect. However, it may be a possibility that we do more than 100. I don't know. It's going to really depend on how quickly they go. The thing about Alexander PCs to remember, they are a boutique builder. So we might be launching these before Black Friday, as in maybe later this week. Just because if you're wanting it before Christmas, that's kind of what you have to do for a boutique builder. There's a lot up in the air for this. It's going to be super cool. But if your budget is around $2,000, no matter what you want to do with your PC, you're going to be able to do it with this. And it's going to be lifetime warranted, shipped. And it's going to have a custom flare for the Brave Thorn brand. It's going to have a certain thing with our little buddy here. Sorry, this is all backwards. It's going to have a certain thing with our little buddy here, RGB. It's going to be awesome. But it's not going to be too crazy to where if you don't like that, you have to look at it. Don't worry. It's going to be really cool. I think you're going to like it. And it's going to be perfect. And that is potentially going to launch maybe a week before Black Friday, just to get some of those orders in there, to maybe be able to arrive by Christmas, because that's just how boutique builders work. There's fewer builders, and they build it from start to finish. One builder. So keep an eye on the announcements channel in my Discord, which is linked in the description. Keep an eye there to see when there may be a live stream of me building one of these with TJ, because there's also going to be a live giveaway during that stream. It's not going to be a PC giveaway. I'm very sorry. It's not going to be a full PC, but if you're part of the huge, if you're part of the huge demographic in my viewership that is interested in streaming, you're going to be interested in this giveaway for sure. And this one's coming from TJ, from Alexander PCs, and it's something that if you're into streaming, or if you want to get into streaming, it's going to be very helpful for you potentially. So that will be given away during the stream. So don't miss that. You can follow me on Twitter, or you can follow you can check out the announcements channel on the Discord, or heck, see if there's a pinned comment on this video. I'll try to put something there once I have the exact date and time, if I'm even able to make it up there. If the worst happens and I'm not able, my flight gets canceled because Chicago O'Hare Airport is on the list of airports that are going to experience some of the 10% of flight cancellations. Then what I'm going to try to do is see if TJ will send me the parts to do a live stream build, and we'll still do the giveaway that way, live on stream. And again, it's not a PC giveaway, but it is going to be a very cool PC giveaway. See, I can't say that. It's not a PC giveaway. It's not a PC giveaway, but it's going to be a very cool giveaway, and it will be live on stream for people who are actually there. And that's going to be really fun and cool, and I hope you get to join. Chanel Cerberus, what's up? I'm able to look at chat now. Sorry. Let's see. Alexander PCs looks good. They're awesome. If you go look at the SI Testimonials channel, Alexander PCs, they're probably one of the only ones that is like nearly 100% positive. There's like one person who was trolling because like they didn't like something about their build, or like a power supply went out, which is just something electronics can do. And Alexander PCs took care of them. But you know, there's some people who, even if you give them everything they want, if it wasn't perfect the first time, the company failed. I'm going to tell you all something right now. This is not part of the video, obviously. I'm going to tell you all something right now. And this is something that you know what? Let's make it part of the video. Now, one last thing, okay? Black Friday is coming, and the holiday season is coming. It's a joyous time of the year where we are all bundles of stress, and it's tough.
But there are going to be people out there who are working extra hours and doing their best to try to help facilitate your holiday season, to make everything work for you, even if it's just someone who on Christmas Day is working a shift at the gas station so you can gas up on the way to your family function or whatever you're doing. I usually like to go to the movies on Christmas Day. That's usually kind of the fun thing that I like to do. And then there's people who have to work there. I just want to ask you that if you're in a situation that would upset anyone, if something's not working or you have a problem with a product or service, don't lead with anger or frustration. That it's an understanding emotion when something goes wrong, especially when you paid your hard-earned money. In this economy, yeah. But remember that it is an extra stressful time, and whoever you're talking to when something goes wrong with your product and or service, their job is to help you out, help you fix that. And if you go in immediately upset and with righteous fury, you're not going to be capable of getting good customer service. No matter the best efforts of the person on the other end of the line, or the person you're talking to in the department store or restaurant or wherever you're at. So do your best. Let it start with you. Kindness first and patience. Because when a product or service fails, that company has not yet failed. How they react to it and how they resolve that issue, that is the measure of a good or a bad company. So give them the chance to succeed. That's what happens. Product or service fails, that's a chance for that customer service, that company, to show you the kind of service you're going to be getting from then on. So always lead with kindness, especially in the stressful holiday season, the most wonderful time of the year. Anyway, that's going to do it for this video, this first episode of PC Gateway. Thank you so much for joining me. I'll catch y'all on stream Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday around 8 p.m. Central. Till then, take care. Okay, neat. Thank you guys for your patience on that. No worries with that lifetime warranty. Yeah, Blueberry Freedoms. The thing to do, also welcome. What's up? Sailor, what's up? I've been practicing, Sailor. Absolutely. On winter vacation till Wednesday. Nice. Watching Braythorn on an Alexander PC Gladiator right now, says Mantool. Heck yeah, that's what I want to hear. Very cool. Spartan 2.1 looks sexy. Not a full PC giveaway. It's not. It's not. I know. What's a good starter PC? It really depends on what they want to do with it. Because just because they don't want to stream Eclipse doesn't mean that they don't want to do more than gaming. Especially if they're in high school. There could be some projects that, like say they want to get into, like I don't know, there's probably video editing clubs and computer clubs, things like that. AI clubs, who even knows? So finding that out from them is a good way to go. Yeah. Also, it's going to come down to your budget, because Eclipse, if you ask for advice and you don't provide a budget, I just have to assume your budget is infinite. Oh, here you go. And for most people, it's not. So yeah, I was responding to that right there. Just realized Astro 5090 do not fit inside Thermaltake TR100 case. I don't think they would. Those are small cases. Yeah. Yeah, that GPU is like a third the size of that whole case. Hey, Shanala Cerberus, I don't know. Like honestly, if you have someone who's teaching ethical AI to a high school club, that would be super cool. And that honestly is what's needed. AI is going to be a thing no matter what. We can't just like sit on our hands and ignore it. We put our heads in the sand. Anytime there's a future technology that requires education, that starts, with students. Of course, also regulation. It's not like I'm huge on government oversight on every aspect of life, but no, when it comes to corporations, regulation and oversight is needed 100%.
I love my PC. The Alexander PC is built. Nighthawk, what's up? I had a problem with a fan going out shortly after using it. After a couple of emails, they quickly replaced it. The whole team is 100 out of 100. That's what I'm talking about. I don't just do a collab PC with anybody who's just like, oh, sure, I'll put your name on something. No. There's a lot of things that I regret about 2025, right? Like that I didn't put out. The thing is, if I had forced it and tried to put out content while I wasn't really able to, if I'd forced it when I didn't feel like I could do it and I did it, like it wouldn't have been good. And then I could have ruined my credibility, because that I can get back into the algorithm, but you can't just get your credibility back. Once that's gone in this climate, it's just gone. Braithorn, if you're doing casual photo editing, but also want a great gaming PC, think 4K ray tracing. We're looking at 3K plus, potentially. Really, it's the 4K ray traced gaming. If you're talking about AAA titles, that's going to be your main cost. Oh, I forgot to mention in the video. Dang it. I forgot to mention. Hold on. 1 second, chat. 1 second. One last thing to add in here. And we don't have this thing just under $2,000, and that's all you can get. If you want more PC, you can't get it. No, we're going to have multiple options to upgrade this PC, so that if you're looking for something even greater than, and you're trying to do something like you want to get into, I don't know, 4K ray traced gaming, or you want to get into video editing, and you need more RAM, and you need more CPU, whatever. You will have a few options to upgrade. The only thing we could not do is have both a black and a white version. It is going to be a black PC to cater to the much higher percentage of people who do want a black PC. Even though I prefer the white aesthetic on the PC, I want a lot of people to be able to get this and enjoy it aesthetically as well as functionally. So, but yeah, we're going to have some options for that. Just stay tuned and come check out the stream on probably Friday sometime in the afternoon. On my channel and on Alexander PC's channel probably as well. Okay. There we go. That's saving, and that is recorded. Cool. Sorry, just had to do that too. My bad. Trust me, that happens a lot. I'll even be in the editing process, and I'll be like, I forgot to say something. I saw a video. They do fit. So they do fit? Okay. Well, then why'd you tell me? Oh, that they do fit. I thought you said they don't. Never mind. I misread that. I low-key love that Alexander PC is based in my city and is veteran-owned. Move all the way over, Asus. That's awesome. You know, the funny thing, Fox, is that Alexander PCs used to use almost exclusively Asus stuff. Well, because Asus stuff used to be that bulletproof, rock-solid, reliable stuff. And they sort of have lost that shine, I suppose. And apparently the most reliable motherboards for, according to Alexander PCs, in terms of failure rates and things like that, has been MSI, interestingly enough. So that's what we're actually using for the motherboards in there. Yes, please allow us to upgrade. Love that. Really enjoying AAA gaming right now. Yeah. And honestly, one thing that I think got unfairly got a really bad rap, because honestly, NVIDIA needed a little bit of humbling there, but not at the cost of something that I find to be an exciting future technology, but because there's a lot of cringe uses for AI, but the possibility of taking a more budget GPU and getting higher frame rates on a budget sounds awesome to me. At first, it's mostly going to benefit the more expensive cards. Yes, it's when it comes to frame gen, that is a newer technology, but like, a lot of reviewers were doing things that gamers actually won't do. To be clear, I am friends with a lot of other YouTubers in the tech space. I've made friends with a lot of those guys. They're just really cool. But I don't agree with them on everything, and I will be very vocal about that, and that's fine. They were doing things like they'd be gaming with multi-frame gen, and they would get freeze frames and like zoom way in and be like, well, these pixels right here. I don't notice that stuff. I don't. I'm just like different people are different. They care to a different amount about things like smearing and ghosting and things like that, especially when you really got to zoom in to find it. If you've never experienced multi-frame gen on 50 series NVIDIA cards in person, you need to. It is unreal. It is unreal. This PC has a 5070 Ti in it. I have played very intensive 4K AAA titles on there, and it has never broken a sweat. It just gives me frames. Just no problem. And it looks good. There was only like one instance where there was one feature that was causing a problem in Star Wars Outlaws, which is a game most people didn't play anyway. I thought it was kind of all right, but it was just that, kind of all right. But it wasn't even the frame gen that was causing the issue. It was some lighting thing. It's in the 5070 review video that I did that, again, nobody watched. But that's why I don't do individual GP reviews anymore. I did one. I tried it. Did not go well. But yeah, fun fact, Fox, if you're looking at casual photo editing and you're looking at a budget of 3K plus, you can actually get the 9800X3D and still get top tier performance in Adobe Photoshop. Because the 9700X, believe it or not, at its price, which is a good price, the 9700X 8-core 16-thread CPU from AMD is the top performing consumer desktop CPU in Adobe Photoshop. I don't know why, but Photoshop loves an 8-core Ryzen CPU. Well, with the 9800X3D and the fact that they took the 3D V cache, oh, I can turn the music back on now. Hello. Oh, actually, let me turn these back on. Oh, that one was on. There we go. Desktop zoom, and face cam zoom. Let's let's test this. Okay. Desktop. Yep. And desktop zoom. Oh, I don't have the border on that, or it's different. That's not great. I need to change those parameters to make it match. Anyway. Okay, back to this. Stream, play. What was I saying? So yeah, one of the main options is going to be to upgrade to a 5070 Ti in that build. There's also, I believe we're also going to have the option for a 9070 XT or a 9070, I think. I need to double check. I know I have an email with all the stuff that we settled on. It was like a 2-hour phone call meeting of us sussing all this stuff out. It's going to look good. It's going to perform well. I'm really excited. I'm like, there's times where I'm like, I don't know if I want to do this collab. I don't know if I want to put my name on this. So I don't. I will do one if I'm excited about it. Excited about working with that company, and Alexander PCs has been a great partner in this kind of stuff. Like, honestly. And they, I know that they'll take care of someone if there's any issue. I've said, and I believe I said in the video, can you get on a chart higher performance with the same amount of money somewhere else? Yeah, because this is a boutique builder, and I chose parts that are good, not all budget components in every category. No, it's not how I work when it comes to a collab PC. You can always trust that you're going to get hand-picked components when I do a collab PC. Ever since the one with Skytech last year and from here on out. I will not do one unless I get the final say in what parts go in there. All the way from the motherboard to the GPU, like everything. Power supply. The case, I'll be a little bit, the case is in many ways, if you're not having to build in it yourself, as long as it's sturdy and looks good, that's usually fine. And has good airflow, obviously. We wouldn't take it any other way. But when it comes to like, oh, this is great for building in, it's a pre-built. You'll be fine. It's much easier to upgrade a PC than it is to build it from zero, right? So, anyways. But as long as I like the way it looks,
and I, you know, approve the build quality and everything, then yeah, go for it. But yeah, the parts, the components, everything, the core idea of the build. And this one is that we're, instead of doing 2 price points with locked in components, we're doing a single price point that can go up if you upgrade it, but also that one price point is the same going either Intel or AMD. And there will be reason to go with either one. It all depends on what you're doing. Anyone who wants to get into video editing, that Intel build is going to be sick for getting started in that because of the 265K. And the pricing of the 265K is what allowed us to do that. It is a 20-core CPU versus the 8-core that's going to be in the AMD PC. So that is way better for video editing. Photo editing is going to be better on the AMD one, but you can still do it with the Intel one. So if you're going full-on content creation and you don't care about upgrading your CPU every other generation or something, right? And not using the same socket, then you don't have to go AMD. You can go with the Intel one. That's a CPU I have in my editing rig. That's how much I trust it. All right. Of course, Intel could mess around again. Who knows? But then again, AMD ain't spotless either. Not with all the stuff that shenanigans they're doing with the drivers and driver support for GPUs that are literally just a couple years old. In fact, GPUs are still selling brand new. Like, yeah, it's gonna get you're a second-class citizen in terms of updates now because you couldn't afford the new stuff. Enjoy. Welcome to AMD. Yikes. No perfect companies out there, people. Anyways, I think I've rambled enough. I mean, what do we think? How did you guys feel hanging out for that video? The lurkers out there, if you were listening, and for those of you who were actually hanging out and watching, what do you think about me doing this on Sundays? And of course, I would like for y'all to still click on the video, even if you just put it in the background later on. I'm going to try to get this out before I go potentially to Chicago. I'm trying to get this out Tuesday. Okay, I got a lot of work to do because I have to pack too. I might have to send this off to get edited, actually. It's a little, it'll cost me, but it'll be worth it, I think. So all that in consideration. What if I do this each Sunday, where we make a video every Sunday, and you guys, this is what I need, all right? And it's a little unfair of me to ask this, but you guys get to hold me accountable to get back to regular YouTube content, because it's y'all are the community. Like y'all got me to where I can do this for a living, and I will never be able to thank you enough for that. I could never thank you enough for that. Asking you then to be like, hey, you can do a video this Sunday. That's what we should be doing. I think that's what we should be doing, and I should be accountable to you guys for making consistent content. It's great break. Cool to see the process. Shanala, that the process is going to be the editing. Talking is easy, I'll tell you. That was a great video. Love the honesty, your passion behind it. Thank you very much, Fox. Mikey says that's a great idea. Thank you, Mikey. Thank you. Don't forget about console gamers. We're open to moving over to PC, but the specs are intimidating. Fox, here's the thing about consoles, and something that I've said multiple times about it, is the culture shock is tough. And what do I mean by that? So if you've been a console gamer your whole life, you're used to a new console coming out. And if you jump on it like right off the bat, you know you have the cutting edge technology for the next 4 years, maybe 5 years in some cases. If you're Nintendo, if you're looking at the Switch, 6, 7 years, right? Maybe you know it's not the most powerful stuff, but you're on what those games are designed to run on. And you know there's not going to be anything really more powerful for years. That ain't the same on PC. Oh no, you move over to PC gaming, you can get stuff that's cutting edge for your budget, whatever your price range is. Get the best you can for that price range. That could change in 3, 4, maybe 6 months, maybe a year, depending on when you buy. It could change next week if you don't keep track of upgrade cycles, of release cycles, right? It is completely different from console. And you cannot get wrapped up in that. What matters is getting something that can do what you need to do with some room to grow. Okay? You want to be able to definitely add storage later on because you can't easily do that with a console. Adding storage, upgrade your GPU later in a few years, and that's like getting a whole other console because that's going to be a big performance upgrade. But hopefully you get a power supply that can stand up to whatever GPU you get, right? There's a lot more to think about. It is more of a blank canvas. With a console, you boot up your console, you're going to game, right? And it's definitely a different gaming experience. Sitting on a couch with a controller, and you can do everything with a controller, right? Sitting in front of a gaming PC, if you've never really done that, you're going to be like, what do I do now? Okay, Steam. Okay, cool. Okay, I bought all these games. Wait, why can't I play them? Oh, snap! What is this? Freaking Blaze Bits rating with a party of 26. Let's go, nerds. Welcome to the stream, Raiders. Y'all just missed it. I just finished a YouTube video. I just finished recording a YouTube video. How's it going? Oh, here, hold up. Y'all, if you like this nerdy stuff, chat, listen up. I'm not talking to the Raiders who just came in. You're already following Blaze. But there we go. Click that link right there. Drop a follow for Blaze Bits. You know, good stuff over there. Exactly. The console audience is vast. PC gurus could just translate the PC goodies to us. We'd flock to gaming PCs. It's also a cost thing, too. Consoles cost a lot less. But yeah, what's going on, Blaze? How was the stream? How'd everything go? Were you hacking the planet? Laughing Sec, what's up? Agent 57, thank you for the first time chat. Arno Gumby, what's up? And of course, Blaze. And Reach Chris Young, Cookie Monster says raid. Love to see it. Love to see it. Yo, what's the YouTube video? Well, Blaze, the thing is, my YouTube channel basically it's about pre-builts and sort of helping people navigate the pre-built industry, like system integrators, you know, your iBuyPowers, your Skytechs, your boutique builders, all of that, to find out what's best, you know, what might be right for them, finding deals, things like that, how to set videos on like how to set up your first gaming PC and how to do things like that. Also finding PC building companies that are not good and saying why at length, very calmly, and definitely no ranting involved. All that kind of stuff. So that's the YouTube content. I haven't been posting long form YouTube content for a while now because I had to build. Hold on. I can turn my follow cam back on now because there we go. Hello. Hi. You know, I built this thing, my new editing PC. So my last editing PC was 14th gen Intel and it was dead. It was cooked. But now I can do it. Another raid. What's going on? Hold up. Shady Lady 007 rating with a party of 14. Let's go, nerds. Welcome, Raiders. That is a double raid. What is going on? I don't know if that was the right sound effect for that, but it was the closest one at hand. But that's awesome. Okay, I was just welcoming BlazeBits who just raided. This is crazy, but okay. But yeah, so I was basically looking at the way Blaze. I was looking at the way RAM prices are may potentially affect Black Friday deals that are coming up, and just going over that. It was kind of a short, hopefully going to be a shorter video to sort of bring back long form content on the YouTube channel. But getting myself there now. Thank you, Bray. I'm back on track with stuff for the most part. Nice to hear that, Jord. BlazeBits is only available in foil edition. He is that legendary. Nice.
Keeping track of tech upgrades is coming out is easier said than done with PCs. Very true. Okay. Now we have the other raid with the Shady Rady from the Shady Lady. Thank you very much. How was your stream? What were you doing? Dropping a little shouty outy here. The Shady Lady, y'all go drop a follow. What were you doing? You were playing Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom. You know, I haven't played that one. I feel like I should. But yeah. Hey, Naughty Fox, thank you for the lurk and also for using my favorite lurk emote that I made. Is that egotistical? My favorite lurk emote is the one with my bald head peeking out, lurking. But I guess maybe I'm popular today. This is crazy. And Sundays are usually my smaller streams, so this is great. Macaroni Lover, what's up? Hello again. It's a really fun time. The story writing is just fantastic. It looks super cute, for sure. After the unrelenting violence of Pokemon Legends ZA, just unrelenting violence in the streets. It's being shaken down for your points and trying to survive to make it to the top. Walking into a park and getting attacked by wild Pokemon until you die. Playing something cute like Echoes of Wisdom would probably be a nice welcome respite. Very Zelda meets Pokemon. True, because you do have to catch like objects, right? Yeah. Blaze, by the way, speaking deals, I just picked up a GMK Tech K12. It's not my dedicated streaming machine. It's been working great. Nice. Need to look more into that. That sounds good. GMK Tech K12. Nice. Glad to hear that's been working great for you. Oh, I can take down my pinned message now. Let's unpin this message because now I'm responding to chat. But didn't realize Pokemon has become so dangerous. Oh yeah, no, just watch clips of Pokemon Legends ZA. And if you've never played Pokemon, but you've only seen people playing Pokemon, you'll be like, yeah, that's like turn-based, and there's little electric rat, and it shocks the fish or whatever, and then it's their turn, right? No. There's another one, a Pokemon Legends game called Pokemon Legends Arceus or Arceus, I don't know, one of the two. And yeah, Pokemon would attack you out in the wild. You had to sneak around and try to catch them. It was crazy. Well, now it's like that in the newer game, Legends ZA, but it's in Paris. You're in the city and you can just get attacked. And when it turns to night, there are areas that if there are bad neighborhoods that the lights turn red and you go there, it's not that kind of red light area. No, you get attacked by other trainers and their Pokemon. It's crazy. Macaron Lover, thank you. I appreciate that. I know when you guys come along for a raid, it's all fun, and some of y'all do go right after, but I appreciate you coming in and saying some nice stuff. Thank you, Macaron Lover. Appreciate that. I like the K12. I'm sending a stream from my desktop to it, then blasting that out to the interwebs. It's been rock steady so far. Sounds like a good way to do it, and taking some of the strain off of your desktop in terms of encoding. Yeah. Trainer gangs. Oh, yeah. Like, when you really sit back and think about, like, there are alpha Pokemon, okay? There are alpha Pokemon that will end you. They are gigantic. They're like 4 times the size of a regular one. 2 or 3 times the size of a regular one. And they have red glowing eyes. And even if you send out your Pokemon to fight them, a lot of the time they ignore that Pokemon and just attack you. I kind of like it, honestly. It's fun. I had a lot of fun with it. It's crazy. But yeah, also Blaze and Shady Lady, you know how it is. I know how it is. You just finished a stream. You had the bright lights on and the screens, and it just frying up your rods and cones real good in your eyeballs. So if you got to take a screen break, go get a snack, go pass out, do whatever you got to do. You absolutely feel free. Thank you for choosing to trust me with your community. If you do want to hang out, you can do that too. And I'm Very happy to have you. Yeah, I got to run. Was given wife is giving me a you done yet look. I get that. I get that all the time. Yeah. And it's like, no, I'm chatting with the person I rated. All right, Blaze. Take it easy. I appreciate it, as always. It's bedtime for sure, but I hope you have a great stream. Shady Lady, thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. And yeah, you know what? Hold on. I got to check something real quick. I was going to see if Manly was streaming. I don't need to hear that. I don't want to hear that. I don't need to hear this fool. Yeah, Manly's not streaming. Oh, well. It would have been fun to bring that forward to Manly, but I mean, you chose to raid me, and I appreciate that. It was getting closer to the end of my stream. So for those who don't know, if you're lurking here after the raid, I appreciate that. What I do is people will who are looking to either buy a pre-built or build a DIY build, a PC, okay? Buy a pre-built PC or put together a parts list for a pre-built. I have a form that you fill out that asks you a lot of questions that you should be asking yourself anyway. As you can see, I've helped out a lot of people who do this. There's none of your personal information stays in the form. It just asks you to log into your Google, but I don't get any emails or anything like that. All it does asks you some basic questions. What are you going to do with your PC? Gaming. This person said gaming, pro gaming / esports, and streaming. That tells me how to spec out the PC, along with whatever your budget is. You can tell me whether you need Wi-Fi in the system or not, whether you prefer a specific PC building company, whether you have a parts list already that you want me to look at or not, like this one right here that someone linked in the end of the form. Different things like that. Whether you're close to a micro center or not, whether you want a pre-built or a parts list. And I one-on-one will help live on stream. I'll help you out. I don't do it after stream or off stream or anything like that. I have done it once or twice for a fee, but it's on stream. It's free. It's free of charge. Just whatever. As long as you just follow the stream or subscribe to the YouTube channel. Either way, those are both free things to do. And then I help you out one-on-one for free. So with Black Friday coming up, keep me in mind. I'm going to be traveling a little bit this week, but there's going to be a fun stream coming up where I'm going to be building the Black Friday collab PC that I'm doing with a company called Alexander PCs. Did not mean to go into the speed lines thing, but now I have to do this voice. There we go. It's going to be epic. So drop a follow if you want to check out that build stream. That's also going to include a live giveaway of potentially some streaming gear. So looking forward to following your channel. Thank you for all the insight today, Naughty Fox. No problem. And if you want, is it just this? I think. No? Okay. YT, there we go. That's it. Drop a sub to the YouTube channel because that's where the video is going to go. And it's going to be edited down, maybe with some graphics, things like that. But I appreciate the follow and the sub and everything. You ain't got to do none of that stuff. I'm just saying, thank you for that support. I really do appreciate it. And Blaze Bits and Shady Lady 007, thank you both for the awesome raids. They subbed on the YouTube. Hell yeah, there you go. And that was fun. I am actually really excited about the idea of every Sunday we do this. We do a video, and that means you guys can even have some input into what the videos are about in the first place. As if you don't already because of the forums. Like the way when you guys fill out the forums, that gives me statistics that help me sort of figure out, okay, I should focus on these price points or whatever. Yeah. That's just anonymous data. That has nothing to do with you as an individual. You can give your actual feedback on the last video or suggestions for the next one. I'm not guaranteed to do whatever it is, but like it can affect how the content's going to be coming out. Astro5090 asked Blazebits, what is a K12? Hold on. I'll look it up for you. 1 second. GMK Tech K12. Let's bring it up here so I don't say anything incorrect about it. It's a mini PC. With Oculink. Nice. Okay, the item is not available now. Not on AliExpress. But I'll just bring up a picture of it. Let's do that. Here we go. There we go. Sorry, I didn't press the button enough times. There we go. GMK Tech K12. It looks nice. It looks really good, actually. A solid amount of I/O for a mini PC. Not gonna lie, that's pretty good. Oculink, USB 4, of course, HDMI DisplayPort out, headphone jack, Kingston lock thing. Looks like 6 or 5 USB Type A ports, and 1 Type C, and dual Ethernet. Dual channel DDR5 up to 96 gigs of RAM. 3 M.2 slots, PCIe 4.0. 3 M.2 slots. This thing is sick, and it's SODIMM memory, so you can upgrade your memory versus whatever they send you. That's really nice. Not gonna lie, that's pretty sweet. Plus, with this form factor, you could probably 3D print a smaller enclosure for this, depending on whatever the cooling element is. Like, what if, check it out, chat, what if you have a custom liquid cooled PC, right? And inside you make, basically you make a water block to cool this thing off, and you have it as part of the custom loop inside a PC. It would take up like so little space. That'd be pretty sick, actually. Anyways, not the kind of thing I normally cover, but yeah, still very cool. All right, so what we're gonna do. Okay. This is one of the coolest people on Twitch. All right? One of the absolute coolest people on Twitch. Is he leaving? Is he ending stream? He might be ending stream. No! He's ending stream. Never mind. Sushi Dragon is the person I was going to raid real quick. Oh, that's crazy. Just to show you the kind of thing that I'm talking about here. This is his. Okay, well, this he's a cat person now. But no, look at his setup. Look at his setup. This is crazy. Sushi is absolutely the best at this augmented reality. Not needing green screen for this stuff. It's just that good. You see the camera just going around. Oh my God. Okay. But he's been streaming for 4 hours and 13 minutes, and he was just saluting the camera. So I don't know if he's ending it, if he's ending stream. Whatever. Let's drop a raid real quick. You know, just. He ain't leaving. He's messing. Okay. What's up, Kenneth? How's it going? Okay, let's drop a raid for Sushi. Sushi's super cool. And a buddy of mine, although I did not get to run into him at TwitchCon this year. That's like a tradition at this point, and I didn't get to hang out with him this time. Twitch got mad that I didn't put the first. All right. Guys, trust me, if you like music and you like and you like, you know, trippy visuals and just a really good time, drop a follow for Sushi Dragon for me. All right. He's a buddy of mine, he's a really cool guy, and make some of the coolest content on Twitch. But yeah, we're gonna be back. I'm probably gonna stream on. I might not stream on Tuesday because I do have to pack stuff to fly out early on Wednesday if the flight doesn't get canceled. If the flight gets canceled, I'll put in the announcements. I'll be streaming Tuesday around 8 p.m. Central, and I'll see y'all then. Until then, there we go. We'll do it here. Until then, take care.
Let's go, nerds!